All right, we'll start up in 1 second. All right. Here we go. Let's put this here. Okay, I think we're back. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, fellas. Clinton Jaffe says all hell's breaking loose between Savage, Mike, and Twiggy. Why? What's going on? Now you can come in here. This will be a lot easier, Silver. Let me. This is a better way because I'm on Talk Studio now. So the one thing it does well is it lets people call in a lot easier, which is nice. So here it is right here. I will pin it to the top. Okay, there you go. It should be there. Hang on. Shut up, Stick Solid. Why did you leave? You didn't have to leave, you old salty fuck. Okay, here we go. Oh my goodness, we did all this to get Silver on the line. We didn't do shit. The thing crashed, man. That's all it was. All right. Anyway, welcome back to the show. I apologize about that. It's good to see you again. We should be good to go for the rest of the night. Clinton says it started on the show Queens with a fight MC Deluxe between Mike and Savage. Now Twiggy's involved. He's stream sniping and talking mad shit. I mean, it's really all real. It's so real, you guys. I'll tell you. I don't know what were we talking about, man. The fuck were we talking about? I don't even remember. But call in if you want to. So I got some stuff we can talk about tonight outside of the Minnesota thing, but I'm happy to talk about the Minnesota thing as long as you guys want to. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, there's really, the thing I think about, and I think, I wish there was a way that the world could. It's like the amount of pain that little kid, that 5-year-old kid, must be going through right now is just. And I felt the same way about Charlie Kirk's, and I didn't like Charlie Kirk at all, but his children though, I was like, Jesus, man, can you imagine? Your mom, your dad never coming home again. 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, hearing that shit. I remember when I was about 5 or 6, my grandmother died, who I was very, very close to. And I just was beside myself. And, I cried so much that my nose just started to bleed. I don't know. I just don't know how it's like, yeah, Rocker Matt says she had 2 teenagers too. And that of course is tragic. She leaves behind a wife, all of those things. But 2 teenagers, they have each other, they have their self-awareness, they can talk to their friends, they can talk to a therapist. But a 5-year-old, how do you reconcile, what do you mean I never get to see mommy again? you know, and I guess, although, you know, the kid maybe because he also lost his dad a couple of years ago. So maybe he's like, oh, this is that thing that happens. I mean, imagine that. Imagine being that fucking kid. And in two totally separate incidents, you lose both your parents. Now, when he lost his dad, he probably was too young to really know what was going on. But I mean, still, what are the fucking odds? What is the world view of that kid gonna be? It's like, you know, oh, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. No, fuck you. I will worry about it. Thanks very much. I've been raised to worry about it. That's my life experience. Here comes Silver Sky. All right. You're back. What's going on, bud?
Yes, sir. Can y'all hear me better? There's some people are saying I was lower. I had low volume. Do what?
I can hear you great.
Oh, okay, cool. So the other, sorry, that got confusing. But what I was going to bring up was are you familiar with Mike Cernovich, by example?
No.
He's a right wing guy. So him and like your Tim Pools and all those folks, what they brought up is it's interesting because they do a lot of live like Charlie Kirk type situations, or not. What's the other one? Steven Crowder has talked about it too. Like, so they go out live, and for years since the Trump phenomenon, the radical left has been going at them like for their life, like putting threatening their lives. They have to have even more security. They've had bomb threats. Tim Pool has had his house shot up. So all of this crazy left and so what their mentality now is any sign of a threat, dispatch it. You know what I mean? It's like they don't have any remorse. Not some of them have remorse, but a lot of them are saying like that lady got it because of what's been happening since 2015. And it's kind of an interesting thought process because I don't in that frame of mind, like I'm not going publicly talking to people and I don't know what that threat looks like. So I can't, it seems pretty dark to say that, but if from their perspective, maybe that makes sense. Have you thought about that?
Well, the problem is though, what you're saying, assuming that's even, you know, I'm not saying it's not true. That's their experience. You're talking about people like Crowder and Tim Cook. People who put Tim Pool, yeah, or Tim Cook from Apple. That guy's a bastard. No, but you know, you're talking about people who put themselves out there, and that is the line of work that they're in, and they invite that in every day. Debate with me, prove me wrong, this, that, or the other. Right. And I'm not saying that's. I mean, I think that's fine. I don't think they should fear for their lives, but to say that cop or that ICE agent had that same experience. I mean, unless he was some right-wing successful talk guy, why would he have any of that experience?
No, I think their narrative. So like right now, you and I are discussing this situation like everybody else is.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more cold in their narrative because of what they've experienced from the left, and the left is not experiencing this. So like for what they said, so like Destiny, by example, doesn't have to have security everywhere he goes, but like your Ben Shapiro does. Right. So like the left has been way more violent in the last 10 years. Like it's not even remotely close compared to the right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying I've heard that that feels wrong to me. But I don't have the data. Right. But I have heard that talking point that the radical left are the more violent ones. And that strikes me as incredibly silly and strange, but that may be accurate. Well, like, give me an example. Yeah.
Okay, so you remember during 2020, during the summer of love, during all the riots?
I remember that was the summer that
George
Floyd was killed, and there were the riots. Yeah.
Okay, so during that, you can fact check this, like this perplexity or whatever, but I believe the number is 33 people were murdered. A lot of which were like overtly Christian MAGA people, right? Like, so one guy
murdered in cold like blood. No, I get that, but I mean murdered.
I was going to give you an example.
All over America, or do you mean as part of, because people get murdered all the time? There's more than 33 people.
So there was, and the chat will probably remember the city, but there was a famous one where an Antifa member breaks off from the crowd. And because I think cops that came and they were kind of like, because they had Antifa and then he had like the Proud Boys type situation going on. Well, there was a pastor that was walking by that was there earlier, and he had a MAGA hat on, and a dude walked up to him. It's on film, and he shoots him in the chest and said, "I got me one."
Oh, I did see that. I did see that. Right.
That's an example. There was another one where a guy like ran down in a truck and drove over some MAGA protesters. Like, so there.
Well, there was okay, but I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but there was also Charlotte, right, where the woman was killed by a right-wing guy who ran over her, or there was the Capitol. Where all these cops were hurt by a lot of MAGA people storming the Capitol. And again, all of those things are terrible, but is there accurate data that says the amount of violence that comes from right-wing people promoting a right-wing cause is dwarfed by the amount of violence coming from the left?
Yeah, so that's been in dispute. So if you watch, Tim Pool did a really good. And I don't really like Tim Pool, but because he's kind of a pompous asshole. But he's done a good job of like, he did a whole video with the actual receipts where the depending on where you are, like in Minneapolis or whatever, they'll even like not even label certain things as political violence when they overtly are. So he gave I think it was, I want to say 17 different murders that were overtly political from the left to the right, and this has also been within the last 10 years. So historically, that hasn't been true since like the 60s and 70s when you had the left wing bomb people that were going around. I guess it's not here or there, but we also had all the fire bombings, like where all the left wing activists were like Molotov cocktails in New York on police departments. There was just a lot during the 2020 stuff, right? That he outlines. So the point is that, and again, all these people that I'm talking about, they have to have security on a regular basis. Like Dave Smith started experiencing it, who's not a right wing guy, and just from his debates.
Smith, who's that?
Yeah, he's the libertarian Jesus or libertarian Tupac. He's one that debates everybody. He crushes everybody. Anyway, he's been having to get security now because he's a comedian too. And I saw that firsthand because I went to go see him live. Like you're just not seeing that on the right or on the left, and so it's a little worrisome because you have, when the president comes out, like you said, and just immediately jumps the gun, is like, she's a whatever, like that just puts more fuel on the fire of these right-wing guys that are like, we don't have any sympathy anymore. If you're, not obeying the police, you get what you get. And that, since when is that ever a good thing? Like you should be a bootlicker to the state. Like, I don't understand. To me, it just makes it worse. It just makes
look, what I will say is I tend to be, I am very progressive, and I tend to be more of a lefty. I'm not even 10. I am a lefty. I am a Democrat, although I'm an independent, but I vote Democrat compared to what my options are. But I would be surprised if the data checked out that it comes from the left. But you know what, though? That said, my mind is absolutely, it has to be. If you really care about truth and you don't care about winning, and winning is irrelevant, if the receipts are there, the receipts are there. And that's why I always say to people who are like, oh, the election in 2020 was stolen, and then they try to show me evidence, and I'm like, that evidence has been debunked and this and that and the other. But there are times when the talking points from the right are like, no, you're right about that. And I'm like, yep, you were right. My brain was hit with left propaganda, MSNBC, which I love, hit with left propaganda, and you have to own that. And I think
you're good about that. You're good.
You have otherwise, why don't you just watch a boxing match or football, right? Because if all you really care about is your team winning, there are safer ways and more lucrative, I would add, in terms of betting, to put that energy. But if you really care about getting to the truth, you have to be willing to change your position as the facts come in.
Well, it's odd to me because you and I have done this stream. I've talked to you on stream like twice.
Wait, hey, 1 second, Sky. Take the chat. Talk to the chat. I got to call an Uber for my kid. Here's Sky, everybody.
Jaffe's talking. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. The chat's kind of weird from what I can see, but Jaffe does not like Joe Rogan, correct? Put yes in the chat if he does not like Rogan, because I'm curious about that. It doesn't make sense to me. No, it's overwhelmingly on the left, the violence for the last decade. That it's pretty cut and dry. By the way, I'm more libertarian, just because I like to go against the grain. Yeah, I didn't think he liked Joe Rogan, but it doesn't make sense because it seems like they have a lot of the same viewpoints, which I'll bring up because it doesn't. I don't quite understand. Hold on, I'm trying to read the chat. Sorry, I'm not very good at this. I'm not a streamer. Yeah, the left versus right, Lake Shores. Yeah, it's all theater. Like honestly, if you think about it, like nobody gives a shit about the shooting and George Floyd. It's all just the next thing that everybody can argue about. The Capitol, I think the Capitol was well. How should I say this? I got to be careful because of my job. I may or may not have been eating popcorn while that was happening. I'm anti-government. I think that whole thing was theater. We found out later that there was a lot of undercover feds there. They threw gas into the middle of the crowd, which dispersed them. Some went back, some went forward. The ones that went forward got pushed into the Capitol. There were people being let in the back. I mean, there's so much that went on at the Capitol that was just complete and utter nonsense. I think it was a psyop, to be honest with you. True, yeah, but you have to quantify what true liberal means. Like, what does that mean? Because like the liberals, I'll bring it up with Jaffe, but I don't think like the Democrats of the JFK days are gone. Yeah, that's what I was curious about, the anti-war thing, right? Like it's odd because the American First crowd is anti-war now, and the left is pro-war, or the establishment, I should say, not just the left, but and even Trump now. That's odd. By the way, I am in Jaffe's Discord now. I don't know how to use it or what it is or what's the point of it, but I do have it now. Just FYI. Thank you, Emily. If my wife is watching, she'll get mad.
Sorry about that. I had to get my kid an Uber or a Lyft.
No worries.
Or whatever.
So I have a question for you. So are you a fan of Joe Rogan or no? I can't remember.
I am a fan of some of his, when he gets into DMT and aliens and stuff like that, I find him really interesting. I don't tend to like his views on politics, and I find it worrying that recently he had an episode where he came out and was like, Trump's crazy. What is he doing? And all this shit. And I'm like, dude, this was obvious. Why were you supporting him?
That's what I thought you were going to say. So it's curious to me because you strike me as like a JFK Democrat, right?
I don't know what that means. I mean, I know who JFK was, of course, but I don't know what that means.
It seems like you're more of like you're for the Teamsters, you're for the working class, and that's all that's JFK Democrats. I feel like they're dead, and Rogan's views on politics align a lot with what I've heard you talk about. And I just don't think he gets a fair shake because I think a lot of people label him as MAGA. And he's like definitely not. He's very liberal. So it's curious to me because you have like so some of what I've heard you talk about. He says he parrots all the time, like almost verbatim. So
like
I
what?
just find
like what?
Oh, just like you make sure everybody knows that you're very progressive, right? He kind of does the same thing without saying that because he knows that like that will trigger people or whatever. But he's pro LBG, he's pro gay stuff. He's he's anti-war. You're anti-war. And that's why which is what's fascinating because that's why he voted for Trump because Trump was promoting being anti-war. He ended up being worse than Obama. He just bombed 8 countries in a single fucking day, which is the exact opposite.
Well, here's what I'll say on that. I'm always surprised. I have so many people hit me up on my streams and stuff and say, I don't agree with everything you say, but right. Yeah. And it's like, I and I don't know how you seem younger than I am, but me maybe I don't know what generation you are, but I
41.
okay, so you're a little younger than me, but the reason I bring that up though is it might be a generation thing where it never occurred to me. Yeah. Oh, Tony's. Yeah, it should be on the counter by the door. Make sure, okay? It never occurred to me that I have to agree with everything everybody says, right? So, like Joe Rogan,
no.
I have issues with certain things he says.
Right.
But I'm sure people have issues with certain things I say. But I don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now, there are some people that I will not speak with you because you're harming people, because you are like, there are people online that I won't even talk to anymore that I've been on their shows, and they are, all for like wiping transgender people off the planet and all that. I'm like, okay, I'm not even going to talk to that person. But most people don't agree on 100%. And somewhere along the lines, people got it in their head that the only way you can like someone is if you agree with every fucking thought they have in their head, which is weird to me.
Yeah, that's not even that didn't used to be a thing. Like, why would you watch like Bill Maher show?
I love Bill Maher, but over the years he's gotten farther and farther away from what I agree with, but I still like him.
No, I mean, like, why would anybody watch it if everybody agreed? Like, you're there for the disagreement. How boring would life be?
I think it's an echo chamber. It used to be comfort food for lefties like me. We used to tune in, and it was like Michael Moore. It was like almost everything he said was like, oh yay, someone more articulate than me with a big platform is saying what I feel, just like the right wing has, right? He was kind of our version of whoever, Rush Limbaugh.
You didn't like the back and forth on the panel though?
Like, I loved the show, but
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
But I do think Bill Maher though has become a very different kind of political guy, but I still like his show, and I don't agree with him as much as I used to, but I don't there's a difference between Bill Maher or Joe Rogan, who politically I disagree with on certain things. Right. And like the guy last night, I forget, Jesse Waters on Fox News.
Oh, he's disgusting.
Right. They did a whole story about this woman who was killed and it's like, what does it matter if she was a lesbian? What does it matter if she had pronouns? What are you doing, dude?
That's what happened with George Floyd. So like what's interesting is whenever George Floyd happened, I grew up watching 90s Cops, right? Like the Cops
the show. Yeah.
So like when I watched that, I was like, dude, that's disgusting, but it's legal. When I was watching, I was like, that's by the book, which in court it came out, it was in the book and they tried to hide it, which in my opinion, like, I don't think it was right, but he should not be in prison. That's crazy because he literally did what was in the book, but it was disgusting and he was definitely doing it for way too long. I think the entire world saw that and was like, that's disgusting, right? But then we watch this thing happen now with the ICE thing, and everybody doesn't have that same opinion anymore. And that's a little alarming to me. It's like, what we've really gone down a bad path.
Well, I get, okay. So I think there's two things going on there. One is, again, this goes back to, did he break the law or not? I have heard different things. I have heard they had been trained not to step or lean on necks, and he did that. But let's assume that I'm wrong on that and you're right on that, and that he was following total textbook procedure. Yeah. And if he was, then and if there were no other circumstances, then I would agree he shouldn't be in jail, even though what happened was awful. But I think the problem is, or the difference is, we do live in a world where, I was in the LA riots, which kicked off because Rodney King's attackers got off scot-free, right?
You were like in them?
What?
You were like in
I was in them. I wasn't like part of them, but I was driving through them when windows were getting blown out and shit in front of me.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So my point is, I lived through that. I was in the actual space it was happening, and I understood, because it was like, there's only so much of people getting away with shit that people will take. And then that was the flashpoint. I think with George Floyd, you may absolutely be right that particular procedure that cop did was by the book legal, but people he was representing a type of policing that people thought he whether he justifiably or not was representing it, he represented, to a lot of people, me included, a kind of unfair racist policing that has been going on in the country since the police were founded.
Right.
in whenever it was in America. And that doesn't mean he should be in jail if what you're saying is correct. But I think that's why that situation is different in terms of the public perception than what happened yesterday.
That makes sense. May I address the chat real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'm anti-government in the sense of I feel like we need to push back against how big they've gotten. It's gotten way out of hand since like George Bush. Like the federal government is so huge and so corrupt that I feel like I'm anti-government because we need to push back against how big they've gotten, how many rights are taken away from us with the Patriot Act and everything else. But that doesn't mean I don't recognize like the need for police because we have a high trust society. And I don't think people realize when you start to lose that high trust society, how quickly things fall. And even just from a mental health standpoint, like when you're driving through a school zone, that's high trust that you believe in your heart of heart that people are going to drive, 15 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour when the lights are flashing and your kids are going to be safe going through the crosswalk. Like that's a high trust society. And if you lose that, you lose cops and you lose the good. Cause like, okay, I used to be in sales, outside sales, and I used to sell communications equipment to public safety, right? So I was working with cops day in and day out for over a decade. And what I can tell you is you hear the thing of there's a few bad apples. And that's not true, in my opinion, because if you are a lifelong street cop, those are the ones that have notoriously really high, you can look the stat up too, by the way, really high domestic abuse charges on them. So if, in my opinion, if you're going home and beating your spouse, you are a bad person. Right.
Sure.
And there is a shit. Go look up the numbers of how many cops beat their wives.
I've heard that stat. What's the reason though? I haven't heard the logic behied it.
It's because I know guys like I went to high school with a guy that ended up becoming a cop and like he just they'll go from the highs and lows. I don't think humans can adapt to it, or most humans. So you and I are having this conversation. I'll pull you over and I'm pulled over Jaffe. Jaffe, you're really cool. And everything's fun. We have a little laugh, and I go right. The very next car, they're a little bit more amped up, so I'm getting a little amped up. And then they leave, do the thing. But then I get a domestic abuse call, and then I have to go deal with that. And then you see the child being neglected with. And I saw this. Yeah. This actually happened next door to me. There was a baby that had the diaper duct taped to him for 2 weeks, like horrific. And so the cops came out. They have to see that. You know what I mean? Like, and so then they go from that to then you're doing traffic stops again. Like, how did your brain, and day in and day out, you're seeing the worst people on the worst days of their life. Over time, that just, how do you fault that guy? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think you do fault that guy, but I also think you bring up a very good point, which is maybe the occupation needs rebooting in some way then.
Oh, 100%.
Right. Because if because I think a lot of people like me will assume that statistic that cops beat their wives is accurate, and it exists because, well, there's shitty people and shitty people are the ones who become cops. But if you're saying it's not that necessarily,
it's the street cops. It's not the
right. But it's the experience of being a cop day in and day out that changes the way you see the world. That doesn't give that person the right to do what he's doing.
No,
but it absolutely does. If that's the chicken egg, and it's not a chicken egg, it's like that's what came first. Then I think the issue needs to be, well, how do we fix this? How do we, just like with politicians, I look at politicians and I don't know if corrupt people are wired to become politicians or being a politician makes you corrupt. But whichever one it is, I'd like to know that so we can somehow fix the system. Same thing with these cops.
Yeah, and I don't know, because that's why I got so checked out with government, because like I was really behind. Do you know Dan Crenshaw, the Navy SEAL at the eye patch?
Yeah, I don't like that guy, but I know him.
Right. So when he first came on the scene, I was going through. I was coming off of like addiction and stuff, and I got clean and everything. And so I was watching a lot of Jocko Willink podcasts, and he like helped me with the Rogan podcast and David Goggins, and helped me kind of change my shit around. Anyway, so he came on there, was like, I'm running for Congress. I want to make these changes. And he was grassroots, took no PAC money. But then as soon as he got in, literally 180. And now he's like doing insider trading up there with Pelosi. Like he's like number 5.
What was the reason? Do you think it was because the system corrupted him, or it's almost like you get the sense they get into office and it's like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. It's like, we have to show you something now that you can't see until you're in office. And then they're like, oh my God, it almost feels like anybody would have to become that because everybody becomes that.
Well, how do you explain Trump literally running like everything he ran on this most recent election sounded so good, and then he did 180 on all of it.
Well, I think Trump is a very different kind of guy, in my opinion. Trump is a guy who I really think it comes from his father, which is win at any cost. Don't care about other people. It's dog eat dog. It does not matter who you hurt. It's you and your family or whoever you care about. And it's all a game, and do whatever it takes to win. And I think in that case, he was probably going, oh, here's what I say to win. And he won. And now he's like, here's what I say to get what I want now. I don't think he will not go to his grave and give a shit that he went back on his promises to the people who elected him.
You don't think there's a possibility, or give him grace in the sense that, and I'm not saying I do, I'm asking the question.
Yeah.
Do you think, like with Venezuela and then the threat of Greenland, the threat of Cuba, do you think
the threat of
taking over
Greenland,
taking over Greenland?
You mean us threatening them?
Right. Yeah. Like I'm saying,
okay.
Like, so he's made threats. So do you think is there a possibility in this world that he is doing this because he's positioning us to be stronger against a potential World War III, and he's looking at it as a positive instead of a negative? Could you give him that grace?
He hasn't earned that. He hasn't, in order to give him that, what you call grace, but to give him the benefit of the doubt, he needs to have earned the willingness for people to view him as some sort of strategic thinker. But so much about what he does is about conveying a persona of like, I'll do what I want to do. I'm the tough guy, blah, 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 that I don't think he's really earned my willingness to think that. But even if he was the goddamn, reincarnation of, I don't know, who's the greatest military strategist of all time? MacArthur. I don't fucking know. But even if he was that, the whole point, in my understanding of America, is the ends don't justify the means. If the ultimate end is to abide by and withhold and uphold the Constitution. If the only way you can defend America is to ignore the very thing that we're supposed to be about, then what are you really defending? So, and I'm not, it may be that America is a failed experiment and it won't work, and that's fine if it turns out that. But to basically say I'm going to unilaterally do what I want to do without approval of Congress, or I'm going to ignore big chunks of the Constitution just so I can get my version of America, it may in the short term benefit us because maybe we'll win World War III, maybe we'll prevent World War III. But at that point, the question isn't the question is was it worth it? Is staying alive but basically lying to ourselves about our values worth it? At that point, why don't we just become have a king?
So it seems like, and I've heard some people like Stephen Molyneux talk about the fact that we've already got there now, but because the Congress is so useless that basically every time you have a president now, they're using the executive orders like as if they're a king, which is an interesting thought. Let me put it a different way. If we were not, because right now the U.S. positions themselves to be the world police. So if in my view, and maybe this is an ignorant view, I'm very Nick Fuentes, America First. Not that I'm supporting of all things Nick Fuentes says, but the idea behind of like being America First, like fix your house and then fix your neighbor's house, and then fix your street, then fix your neighborhood, then fix your city, then fix your county, then fix your state. Right. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But there could be a flaw in that thinking, which is we are the world's police, and that's true. If we back away from that, somebody else will take over, and will the world be better off because of it?
Well, again, if we have no way of knowing that, but the problem with the America First thing is it's never really America First. We say we're America First, and people who want to say that, but inevitably, and maybe it's not because these people are liars, maybe it's because America First is as quaint of an idea as Make America Great Again, even though America has always been a wonderful shithole, right? It's always had amazing things about it, and it's always been a country in turmoil because of all kinds of reasons in terms of how we were formed and civil rights and this, that, and the other. It may be that America First, we are too linked with the world now. You can't really be America First, right?
That's recent though.
Well, I know, but I'm saying that the idea of standing up there and getting elected because you say America first, and can you like whether you're left or right, can you really do that? But let's assume you can. Let's
Yeah.
assume you can say, I'm not spending any money on anything unless you attack us, right? Which is dangerous, but let's assume you say that. We're not going to defend our allies. We're not going to do anything, just us. Okay, well, when has that ever happened? Like, we still have shitty infrastructure. We have shitty public schools. I guess you could argue that if you believe in the idea of what he's doing with ICE, he's putting America first because he's trying to get people who a lot of people think, I don't, and not in the way they do, that they're a drain on the resources out. So maybe you could argue he is trying to do that. But again, to me, it goes back to at what cost? If the only way to get illegal, and I don't even know if that's the right term, but I mean, it is, but the only way to get undocumented immigrants out of America is the way we're doing it now. Do we really want to do it that way? Is that American?
It's rough because living in Texas, I've done a lot of things in my life, but I did custom woodworking for a long time and working hand in hand with illegal Mexicans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them just like, first of all, let me just say this: MAGA people, right? If you're in the chat, if you ever worked with or broke bread with a family that came from Mexico, they're more aligned with your morals and values than anybody else around you. Like they're very family oriented. They're very they're awesome people, and the skilled labor is out of this world. They're fucking incredible. So it's to me, it's disrespectful to even the way Trump went about it. I understand why he did the way he did it, but it's a little disrespectful to the hard workers. But that doesn't mean there aren't a bunch of like letting so when you let in when Biden let in all those people because he got rid of all the executive orders and all the things that he did, right? And I don't think the numbers are true. I think that's all theater. I don't think 20 million people came across. I think that's theater. But my dad sells the equipment that goes to the border. So I have a lot of inside knowledge on that. There was a lot of people coming across, and it's a travesty how they have to house them. So like if you go down to South Texas, it is horrific how those people are being stored. So that's a humanitarian crisis. Yeah, that's the only word you can use for it, right? So it's a humanitarian crisis, so we have to fix that. A, B, our education system. Most of my family is in the education system, public school system.
Yeah,
my mom, my brother, and so back whenever I was going to school, when you were going to school, there'd be one teacher for every 14 kids. Now and now it's somewhere depending on where you are, upwards of 30 to 45.
Yeah.
So you can't. So the kids, like my child suffers. She has some issues with the way she learns, and she can't get the one-on-one time that she needs because so many non-speaking English. And so
yeah. I mean, both my kids went through the system with I forget, was it like whatever we call it in California, but they got help because they were ADD or this or that or the other, and they learned different. And yeah, we didn't have those problems. We live in a relatively decent area, but you're absolutely right. That as a parent, if you can't get those resources, it's a real problem. But again, at that point, then is the issue the number of undocumented immigrants that are taking the resources, or is the issue that we are allowing companies to get away without paying taxes that could go into the system, that we're allowing
yes, all the above.
Well, right, but why don't if we really want to hold to our values, to me an American value would be, yes, we need to fix immigration, and let's do that, and let's do it better than Biden did it. But we also need to fix our home. Like you said, we need to be America first in that way. So you know what else we could do? We're going to tax these corporations that get away with all these horrible loopholes and at the expense of Americans and what their tax dollars should be going for.
May I expand on that for you?
Yeah, but we don't do that because they're the ones who pay for the people to get elected. So
it's so complicated. So like where people that don't understand. So I work in the energy sector. I got to be careful because I got to be careful how I talk about things. I can get fired. Okay. So I'm in the energy sector. I deal with the power lines, stuff like that. Okay. So the power grid across the country is so strained right now. And I used to make fun of the electric car stuff because I thought that was what was causing it. And then when I got hired on, I started learning. Oh no, it's not. The electric car thing, that's its own issue with minerals and slave labor and all that. But take that aside, it's the data centers. Dude, data centers are horrific. I also work on or work by the big windmill stations out in West Texas and stuff. And so that people don't realize that those are filled with oil, and they sling oil all over the ground. The farmers can't do any crops around them. It's a fucking nightmare. Our energy, to point to what you're talking about, there's so many issues across the board that, like Amazon, they're building this giant data center right now that's 2 towns over from you. Okay, massive. We have to build its own substation just to power this thing. It's insane.
How big? Okay. I'm curious. How big when you say massive? Like
acres and acres and acres and acres. It's huge. I don't know exactly how big.
I mean, bigger than a shopping mall, or what do you know? Just so I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's bigger than a shopping mall. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So and this is one of them. There's 3 of them being built in one town. So okay. Amazon's the big one, right? So they get tax-free. Amazon got tax-free for 20 years because they're bringing jobs to the area. But then you do a little homework, just a little homework, and you go Google, what is this going to be? Oh, it's entirely automated. So there's going to be no jobs there. So right. The way they did that was because the construction of the site. But then they get tax-free for 20 years. What are we doing? And then you're worried about you. So the Biden administration hires, I can't remember what the number was, 56,000 IRS agents. You think those are going after the 1%? No, they're going after you, me, and you. They're going after our Venmos back and forth to our kids. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's why I'm anti-government, because, sorry, I'm getting on a tangent, but like when you have places like Israel, who has, I'm assuming that you're for healthcare for all, right? You want Medicare for all? Okay. You want free education?
Well, we have free education. I'd like it to be better, but yes.
Right. You want to go into like college stuff, right? So
ideally, yes.
Okay. So
trade schools or whatever. I mean, it depends what we're talking about.
I think I fundamentally disagree, but I like the sentiment. Israel has all that,
and we pay for it.
What the? You see what I'm saying? Like that. So yeah, to what you were saying about the illegal immigrants, could we handle it if we had things that were where we were taxing people properly? Yeah, sure, maybe, but it still remains like our healthcare system is crippling right now because of. When you have undocumented people that have births and stuff like that, you have to pay for that. And then it gets
okay, but have you seen the stats? And I haven't, so I'm genuinely asking. Like, okay, so is the drain on the healthcare system that comes from undocumented immigrants as
it's in pockets. It's in pockets. It's not nationwide.
Okay, but is that on the whole as damaging to, for example, the lack of Congress extending the Obamacare subsidies for another 12 months, right? I know my own premiums have gone up 300% in January, right?
So I get confused by that because some people, the right will blame Obamacare and insurance. I don't understand. I've never done a deep dive in that, so I can't answer it. I just don't know. I know that there's good arguments on both sides. And I get confused by it.
Well, I think we can all agree the healthcare system needs an overhaul, and Obamacare, at least, is better than what we had. At least you can't kick somebody off because they get sick. That was a big deal, right? It's like, oh, we're not going to insure you because, right? So, to me, I look at it and I say, the reason I have a problem with the way this is being handled when it comes to ICE, well, there's a lot of reasons with ICE, but with the immigration thing is that I go, okay, there's a lot of problems and we're using these folks as pawns when frankly, my guess is the amount of money we could get into the system to help Americans and help our infrastructure that would come from treating these oligarchs and these companies in a way that was fair to everyone, not just a couple of people who fund elections, would be a much bigger way to move the ball down the field than what we're doing now. And it also hopefully wouldn't come at the cost of the American soul, which is, this is Nazi shit. We should not be okay with this. We should, for example, if my whole thing with ICE is, let's just assume for the moment that you want to get rid of as many undocumented immigrants as possible. Okay, great. Okay. But isn't the American way to do it? And we were talking about this yesterday. Don't we want law enforcement that says, I'm not here to scare you. I know you're terrified. We have a process. You can't stay here, but I'm not going to drag you out of your home. I'm not going to do it at school. I'm not going to do it in front of your kids. We're going to be kind and Christian about this process, but you can't stay here, but we're not going to be a bunch of fucking assholes unless you happen to, why aren't we demanding that?
I don't know if that works. So like I told you before, when I was working with law enforcement, I had to do a lot of ride-alongs to make sure that our radio equipment and dispatch equipment was working. And so you get to see firsthand how the general public treats law enforcement. And what was interesting about it is I did it in the beginning of my career when I was like 18, and then I got to keep doing it until I was like in my 30s. And so I got to see a switch because like when I was 18, that was closer to like 2003, right? So that was after 9/11, and there was like unity in the country, and everybody kind of came together to go kill a bunch of brown people, coincidentally. But like there was the public treated,
but it was based on lies.
Based on lies, 100%. So it was insane. So and the Dixie Chicks were canceled for being correct. It's nuts. But the law enforcement was treated better back then, right? So I got to see that, and what you just asked for, that could have happened back then. But then as I got closer to my 30s, and then the more that you started having the tickers at the bottom of CNN and Fox News, and so like there's constant, that whole everything's breaking news, everything, when that changed and the algorithm started and social media started picking up, and then you started having clickbait, dude, the way public treated law enforcement was night and day. And I don't know if you could ever get to where you could be nice like that. Like what I saw with my own eyes is horrific. I mean, like cop would be like real cool, because like you could approach people like de-escalation where I live and where I was doing my ride-alongs. They really honed in on that because they didn't want any kind of accidental shootings or anything like that. So they would even approach cars in a non-aggressive manner to where it was like they would turn to the side a little bit. Like they would, it was really kind of cool how they would do it, and they would still get like people abuse them verbally and get out of the car with their hands in their pocket, like just crazy shit. So I don't know if even with, especially with illegal immigrants, I don't like with like the Muslim population, or like in here in Texas we have this Muslim thing popping off, and what's scary about it is if you look at what's happening with the UK, and I'm raising 3 daughters, and so when you see gang rapes and rape in general going up 1,000+% in other parts of the world. Like now you have the UAE saying they're not sending college exchange students over to the UK anymore for college because it'll radicalize them because of the Muslim radicalization that's going on in the UK. They just said that. So like when you're starting to see that pop up in Texas, you're seeing it in California with the mosques going everywhere, and a lot of them are illegal. Like what do you say to that? Like,
what I say to that is, if here's what I would say: if we had footage of ICE going up to a door and knocking and being well-trained and professional and respectful and representing America, which is we're supposed to be a kind people.
Right.
And it goes south time and time and time again. I think more people would have sympathy, not for them not doing that anymore, but going, okay, in that case, they were absolutely justified. But we don't see that. What we see is time after time after time, we see these guys bullying, shooting people too soon, not actually being respectful. They act like thugs out there, like high school bullies.
Well, and when you say that, though, what do you mean? Like, so how many unarmed black men are killed every year?
I'm not even talking about that, so I don't know.
I'm using it as an example. So do you know? Do you have an idea?
Unarmed black men, I do not have any clue. I assume more than they should, but more than white guys probably. I don't know.
What's the guess?
I have no idea. I don't even have a.
I'm not doing it as a gotcha. I'm doing it as like.
It's not a gotcha. I don't. I don't have any frame of reference to give you a number.
More than 100.
I would guess more than 100. Sure.
Okay, it's 12.
Okay, so 12. There. Wait. Are you saying by cops?
By cops, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying in general, like how many unarmed black men are killed every year. I don't know. Okay, 12, fine.
So the reason why I say that is because whenever, especially during the height of the 2020 riots, people thought, like through street interviews and stuff, that it was over 1,000. And that's just simply not true. So whenever you say time and time again, we see X, Y, Z, I think what we're seeing is the algorithm pushing division. You see what I'm saying? Because I think
I do agree with that. Now, here's I agree with you 100%. What is reality? We've never known, but in the past, before the algorithms and before social media, we all had a collective truth. It may have been a lie, like Vietnam for a while, or it may have been a lie like the Iraq War that we were told was because of weapons of mass destruction. But on the whole, most people were able to say that's our truth, right? And we could all go, okay, based on that, we're going to feel this way. But you're absolutely right. Now, this is really the biggest threat. You know, the question is, can you save America by fundamentally altering one of the most important tenets of America, which is freedom of expression? Because fundamentally, I don't think we are capable of handling this information fire hose that we're all drowning in. And certainly, right. And we're certainly not capable of handling it when it has been monetized and they have learned that monetizing it to keep us mad at each other is going to make certain people a great deal of money. And so I don't know anymore what is a fact, what is a half truth, and what is a total lie that has been AI'd or created simply to get me angry at something. And I have to assume we all have to at least start from that place of accepting we all don't know what the fuck is really real, what stats are real, which ones have been manipulated. And maybe that is at least the progress we should shoot for first, is to go stop thinking you have all the facts. Stop thinking just because you compared a statistic you heard on your particular echo chamber, right, and I compared a statistic that debunks your statistic. I don't know. You don't know. If we started there, at least maybe we wouldn't be so mad at each other, and then maybe we could have the energy to figure out how do we solve this without fucking up the Constitution. Well,
you also got to, and I think it's a good practice to not be married to your ideas,
right?
And whenever there's
the North Star, right? They're the North Star of, seriously, no. I mean, the North Star is, I want freedom. I want people to be safe. I want people to be free to pursue their dreams. But how we get there, I agree, should be malleable.
I agree with that, except I don't know if that's even plausible anymore. Like, by example, because of the worldviews are so off now for people, you and I will disagree on abortion, right?
But just my answer is don't have an abortion.
What do you mean? No, by example, my wife and I, we've been together since high school. So yeah, we got pregnant right out of high school, and a lot of our friends said get an abortion, blah, blah, blah. We didn't do it because the way I've always viewed it was more of the Christian way, which is life at conception, right? That's my view. I'm still pro-choice because I feel like that's not my place to tell another human.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you are anti-abortion, then you and your loved ones don't have abortions.
Well, no, but I'm talking about the view of it being a life or not. So on the left, the extreme left, they're like abortion up until 9 months, which is like what's in Colorado, or Tim Walz says.
I don't think it's 9 months, but
it is in Colorado and in Minnesota.
9 months, meaning at basically the day before the baby's born.
Yeah. Unless that's my echo chamber, right? So
that may be your echo chamber, but I could be wrong. What state has the longest abortion?
Colorado and Minnesota.
What would you call it? Abortion termination.
Up until whatever.
All right. How late? Here we go. Okay. There are some states that have no limit. In these locations, the time limit is determined by the patient's health and medical necessity as determined by healthcare providers. So it's not that you can just go in and say, my baby's due tomorrow, but I don't want it. You have to go in and say, I'm going to die if this baby is born.
It gets a little convoluted because if you talk to OBGYNs, because they will say there's never a need to terminate a life. There will always be, because there's less than 0.01% of the time where they have to go and terminate the life of the child. Normally they're going to try to do a procedure and they might lose the life of the child, but that's not the goal of the procedure. Does that make sense? So
it makes sense. I don't know if I believe it, but okay.
Right. I mean, that's what my kids. I mean, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's what I've been told by actual OBGYNs. So but again, that could be right leaning, and so they could be biased in that regard, right? So I take that into consideration.
Was overall the maternity mortality rate increased from 23.8 deaths per 100,000 to 32.9 per thousand. So every 100,000 we lose 33 mothers. That doesn't mean an abortion would have saved them, but
Right.
your point though, sure. I mean, but ultimately, on abortion, I respect if people don't want to have abortions, but I don't want them to tell me what me and mine can do.
Well, no, I meant more. Sorry, I meant more. I didn't mean to make that like a debate. It was more about like the left will celebrate with abortion cakes and shit. Like they're in support. Like that's wild. I
They'll
understand it's
celebrate
fringe.
what?
They have abortion, like you know how like they'll have like birthdays for like kids. They'll do abortion day. Like they'll celebrate an abortion. It's the fringe. It's the fringe.
Right. I mean, sure. And the right will protest at funerals for gay people and say God wanted you to die of AIDS. I mean, that's
crazy. Yeah,
but that's not reflective of 99.9% of the people on this planet.
But I would say that it is a pretty big split amongst most normal people about abortion and understanding if they are, and the debate about when is it a life and when is it not. Like that, the worldview is so off now in America. And I'm just using that as an example.
Yeah. Well, okay. So if you're just using it as an example of what is your bigger point then?
Well, like so if what would be it? Like Charlie Kirk. Like that was a good. So you saw the left celebrating it, and the right was like, "How dare you!" But then the right.
What does that mean? The left celebrated? I think most people, including me, who hated Charlie Kirk, I don't want to see anybody die. I felt for his kids. I don't want to see anybody. There are a few people that if they were assassinated, I would be like, "That's pretty good." I'm fucking glad I'm glad they're dead. But Charlie Kirk wasn't one of them, and 99% of them are not. Even though I hate them. I wouldn't want to see Nick Fuentes assassinated. I think he's a fucking Nazi.
He's hilarious to me. I love watching his stuff.
I
think he's hilarious. I think he's good for the conversation. To be honest.
Well, again, I that's fine. But what I'm saying though is that I don't think. I think it's important not to cartoonify most of the people on the other side. Right. Like I have family in Alabama and some of them voted for Trump. And I think I don't think they voted for Trump because they wanted Trump to do what he's doing now. I don't think they voted for Trump because he's opposed to LGBT people, of which we have a number of them in our family.
He's not opposed to LGBT. What are you talking about?
Well, his policies are well, in terms of his going after the trans community, he did an executive order about there was a getting all the trans people out of the military.
About that though? Who would you listen to say whether or not that was right or wrong? Because if you talk to people in the military, I'll put this.
There's a great line in the show The West Wing, which I love. I'm a liberal. And in it, they have a black guy who is the Joint Chiefs of Staff or the highest military position. And they're asking him, this is a show in the 90s. So they're debating gays in the military. And he says, the problem with gays in the military is it'll disrupt the unit. He said, but that's also what they said about black people back when I was a private and going through basic training. And the military got over it. Right. Which is, yeah, I get it. Some people are going to be uncomfortable, but the very thing that we're fighting for, the reason we have a military is the freedom for people to live their lives with freedom. So I get it. It might make some people uncomfortable, but you know what? America's not supposed to be comfortable all the time. That's a democracy. That's freedom.
Well, so I'll agree with you in the sense of like one of the greatest fighting forces of all time was 300, the Spartans, and they were gay as fuck. So like,
which I don't think had anything to do with it, but sure.
The idea was that it's a whole thing. But
it's real. Yeah,
it's irrelevant. But the point with the trans thing. So if we acknowledge that they are, I'm trying to be, I don't want to use the wrong language to offend you, right? So. That is not the biological norm, correct?
It's not the norm, no.
Right. So if we can agree that, and then with all the scientific books for decades and decades said it's body dysmorphia or a form of body dysmorphia, right?
It still says that
it's gender dysphoria. So that's a flaw. And it doesn't mean it's negative in a flaw. Flawed is a negative, but it's a flaw nonetheless. And so if that's compromising on the battlefield in any way, shape, or form, I understand it because I think it does.
Okay, but I would only so if you're but here's my question then. If that's what you really believe, then I assume what you would do is you could look at the statistics and say there are biological markers that make people on the battlefield their flaws, in your words, make them dangerous to be out on the battlefield in terms of their abilities, right? That's what you're basically saying.
I've listened to a lot of military podcasts and I've heard them actually talk about this.
So I assume that there's a list, like the top 10 things that are biological flaws that would say these will cause the most problems on the battlefield. And you're saying a trans man who's capable of doing everything and passing basic and passing all the tests.
Trans man is which one? What is that?
It's a person who was assigned at birth as a woman and transitioned to become a man.
Okay. Wait, so as a girl originally?
Right.
Well, they won't even qualify.
Well, no. What I'm saying, what I'm saying though is before Trump's law, if you had somebody who could do all of the things,
right.
The question becomes, I assume they're not like that can't be the top quote flaw, is it?
Oh yeah. I wasn't saying I wasn't giving my opinion. I was providing.
No, I know. But what I'm asking is if that really was the logic by which we wanted to say, let's get trans folks out of the military because that flaw is detrimental to war and it wasn't political, then I assume that particular, again, flaw would have to be at the very top, right? Because what other things have we said? Well, certainly you can't be blind. Okay. You might be able to be in the military blind, but you can't go to war if you're a blind guy. Okay. Right. That makes sense. What else? Right. I mean, the trans thing it feels political. It doesn't feel logical. It's like you can put that up there and I'm sure it's somewhere on the chart.
Because you could say, okay, so you can't go to war, but there's other jobs you could do, like logistical or whatever.
Well, or you could go to war, but maybe not. Maybe in the case of one person, you can't. But you're absolutely right. Let's say it doesn't mean they can't serve. I mean, think about that. You've got people who want to serve the country and die for the country,
right?
And they can't. They're not allowed to. Why?
Yeah, fair. That makes sense.
It's ridiculous.
So that's a quality disagreement with. That's a quality critique. That's fair. Yeah. So I guess my overall point was, you don't think we're too far apart, meaning left and right, in a worldview to where we could ever find a common area anymore?
I don't. I think the answer is not to agree. I think the answer is come to a point where we have to respect the fact that we don't have to agree on a lot of things, but we don't have to hurt other people and we don't have to intrude on their lives. Like I said, abortion's a great example. If you don't want to have an abortion and it's not right for you and your wife, I support your right not to.
Right.
Just like if I want to have an abortion, even though I would struggle with wanting to have one, but if I was that kind of person who is in a situation and I'm pro-choice and I am, I don't need you or anyone else policing my activities. I think that's where we need to get to, which is like, let's just take the trans thing, because I have lived experience with it. We're talking about it. I don't need, like, people are like, we're protecting the kids, and parents of trans kids have been so cartoonified, like we're mustache twirling villains. In what world have I ever shown anyone that I am a non-participatory, loving, very involved, very engaged parent? Do you think me and my ex didn't go through every fucking doctor and therapist and research and meetups and groups before we made any decision with our son about this very important and in some cases potentially irreversible decision? I don't need somebody who hasn't had this lived experience coming to me and telling me, but this is how you should. Then if you have a trans kid, do what you want with your trans kid until they're 18. But that's where I think we have to get to, and this goes back to your point about the algorithm, right? Which is, I stop being such fucking busybodies. Leave people the fuck alone. I get it. If like you said, there's a kid sitting in his diaper and he's taped to his diaper for 2 weeks. Okay, we have child protective services for that, but this is not that.
Did you have the same sentiment during COVID? I don't remember.
Well, the only problem with COVID is we didn't know what we know now, and so the reason I didn't have a problem with the mask stuff in COVID is it was explained to me, it was pitched that it's not that I give a fuck if you wear a mask, but if you wear a mask and you get other people sick, then I don't know who wins that argument. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't have to wear a mask. Like what I would have done in COVID was this. If we're going to fucking kill the economy anyway because of it, and what are you going to do? It's a fucking, pandemic. I would have said, look, we are forcing you to wear masks, but you do not have to go to work and you can work from home. And if you can't work from home, we will subsidize you, because it is so un-American to force you to wear a mask that we are willing to jump through this financial hoop, because we also scientifically don't know enough yet that we can't risk people infecting each other. I mean, you have to remember, I remember the week COVID was announced and my ex was like, I'm going to come over and drop some groceries off. And she was on a payphone out, or not a payphone. She was on her cell phone out by Walgreens, and somebody walked by and coughed. And it was like, how far away was he? She's like, I don't know, like maybe 5-6 feet. And I drove out there to see how far. I mean, this is how terrified we were. And she wasn't able to come over for 2 weeks. We played games and watched movies with her on Zoom and she lives around the corner, because none of us knew. But I do think we should have treated the people who didn't want to wear masks with a little bit more respect, but they also should have also understood that, this isn't about your freedom. We're trying to save lives. It was, and that was amplified too by the left and the right and by the algorithm and by the talk radio.
So were you pro mandate or no on the vaccine and all that?
Were you forced to get a vaccine or no? I don't remember.
No, I'm saying because there was a lot of talk of you were coerced a lot of ways, depending on where you lived, right? So my job was getting ready to mandate it, and then we all threatened to strike, and so they got rid of it. But just by example, just to make it very clear, I despise Trump because of what he did during COVID, how he handled it. I felt like he was a Nazi, and I felt like he went too hard, and he's the one that put got rid of all the barricades and did the vaccine that's horrific and was killing people. And I'm super against the vaccine. I'm super against Trump. I'm super against, people in the chat were asking, who do you think about him dodging the threat? Fuck Trump. I don't like Trump. I'm super for, I never wore a mask. I never did, but I was also respectful too. I wasn't trying to be overtly dickhead to people, but I didn't wear a mask. I started working 3 jobs to pick up the slack. I take care of myself. My entire family eats right. We all exercise. And so I've been busting my ass for decades to be in tip top shape. And then whenever this thing comes around, I had people that were extremely out of shape trying to tell me what to do for their health. It's like, well, I've been doing this my whole life. I'm not worried about a fucking cold. And I never got it. I never, you know what I mean? My girls didn't get the vaccine. They never got it. We never even got sick. So my view on all that, I'm still salty. I'm still getting amped up about it because of how.
But think about this for a minute. It's like you're bringing, some very, and I get it. It's personal, but it's because you chose to live a certain lifestyle. It sounds like what you're saying is because of that, I have the right to maybe infect other people, right?
Well, they were wrong about all that in real time.
Yeah, but we didn't know that though. No one knew.
I was watching. Well, I got lucky by watching the right things, but correct. We didn't know that definitively, but we found out later the masks were bullshit. Fauci himself said the masks were bullshit in the beginning anyway.
None of us, but no. So here's what I would say. What would be great on this is I know people who died of COVID, right? My band director, who was very beloved back in high school, is dead now because of COVID. And he was a right-wing guy. He was not he didn't get the vaccine or any of that shit. I didn't get COVID. I've gotten every vaccine. I've gotten every booster. My kids did. Everybody I know did. But what would be great is to go, and again, I'm not kumbaya guy. Some people are just fucking assholes. But the idea that the default position is that guy's the bad guy and I'm the good guy versus the default position going, he's probably angry and scared. I'm angry and scared. We're all being told how to feel by people who make a shit ton more money than we ever will see. And let's start from there. And I don't want to keep coming back to that like that's the solve, but that's the solve.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I meant that I think that's the correct take. What I'm saying is I'm against the mandates then. I'm against the mandates. Like, I don't think you should say, like in Texas, we have the mandate of like, you have to have an abortion by 6 weeks or none at all. Right. Like that's where it gets sketchy for me. I think the UK does it right with 15 weeks or 12 weeks. But I'm against the mandates. And so that was like, the reason why I was getting to that was because the chat kept saying, I was like, I guess they were assuming I'm super right wing because I was playing devil's advocate for a lot of this conversation.
Well, but again, that is the problem too, is you have the look of a right wing guy.
Yeah.
Right. You live in Texas, you got the hat, you got the camo, you got the bodybuilding gear everywhere. And that's a problem, right? We cartoonify people, and maybe it's an evolutionary thing. Like we do that because it's the only way to keep all the people and all the data in buckets. If we don't have time to give nuance to every face we see. And so we have to sort of project a very simple version, like a low level of detail in a video game when the object's far away. We have to kind of project that until we get to know them. But it would be nice if we could fucking recognize, have some self-awareness of our own internal programming. That I think that is really the only solve to this, because we're not going to solve. You think we're going to solve sitting here on any fucking chat, either a Penny Annie one like mine or a giant one like, Hassan Piker or Asmongold? Right. We're not going to solve Minnesota, right? We don't know what happened. We weren't there. And next week it'll be something else. 6 months ago it was Charlie Kirk. Now it's this.
But I think the hope is that the more of these chats that happen live, that the more people talk and communicate and that disagree, I think the more that people start doing that, the better.
Oh yeah, but there's no money in that, by the way. That's the challenge, right? And I think we just have to learn to be more self-aware, and understand that we're being played. What a joy to chat with you tonight, buddy. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. No, people loved it. I'm watching the stats. People aren't cratering. People were the highest we've had all night, but I do need to move on. So
I apologize for
no. Call back anytime. It was a real pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much.
All right. See you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there he goes, folks. Off into the evening. What a pleasant conversation. I enjoyed talking to him very much. Now, let's get some super chats. Durant, thank you so much, buddy. I'm sorry for prolonging these, not prolonging, but waiting for these. I'm open to hearing his examples of left violence, but let's be real. School shooters and mass shooters are largely far right with manifestos. That's true, but I would also suggest that the number of school shooters versus the number of mass shooters compared to just everyday murders are dwarfed by just everyday murders. But I don't have the stats for any of that. But thank you for the super chat and the comment. Crowdunk, thank you so much for sending those 5 gift memberships. Very generous, buddy. Very kind. Thanks, Crowdunk. Thank you, V8 Warrior, for sending gift memberships. We very much appreciate it. You are the knees bees. Wink. Thank you, Miss Anna G, for sending gift memberships. We appreciate it very, very much. Thank you, buddy. And V8 Warrior steps back up the plate, puts his penis on the bar and says, look at this, and sends some more gift memberships. Thank you, V8 Warrior, very, very much. K-Nubs drops a huge 20, sticks it up his butthole and says, does this smell funny? Thank you, K-Nubs. We appreciate it. We are not a united country in any way, he says. The biggest lie. Our land is too big and allows for wildly different viewpoints. Get rid of current federal government and let each state be their own country, set up their own federal government. Yeah, but it's fundamentally the same thing, right? Okay, because are you saying there is no federal government? So California and North Dakota are just their own countries, and we help each other out like we help out NATO allies. But if South Dakota wants to invade North Dakota and we choose to do nothing about it, that's okay. I mean, we could try it. Look, maybe that's the solution, but it's always going to be a problem. You break up and California is a state, then you're going to have people in California bitching. Oh, I don't like those guys. I mean, there's some, where's the limit where we have to learn to get along? There are tiny countries right now in Europe getting their asses kicked in terms of turmoil. And it's not about their size. So I don't know if your solution works, but at this point, I'll try anything. Machine XP, thank you for the super chat, buddy. He says, we absolutely cannot make policies based around fringe cases, regardless of political lines. I think we can. I think we're supposed to make policies around fringe cases. That's the idea. We have to have protections for the people who are on the fringes. If you're talking about things like civil rights, not that black people are on the fringes, but they were in terms of their rights. Or if you're talking about LGBT rights, they're on the fringe. We have to make policies for them. It's not majority rules. That's why we have representative government. I'm not sure if I understand your point, though, but thank you for the super chat. Machine says, by the way, don't need gender dysphoria to be trans. And you're a therapist, you would know. I had always heard they were the same thing, but I'm always happy to learn more. Please let me know. V8 Warrior says it's stick time. Jaffe, thank you for the super chat. I don't know what that means. Justice for Nubs, says V8 Warrior. I don't know what that means. What do you mean it's stick time? What do you mean justice for Nubs, Warrior? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you goddamn mean. Okay. Let's see if Bunny Button's still live. Let's bring Bunny Button into the show and her rapscallion gang. Hang on. Oh, she's not there anymore. Is she there? Is BB on there? Oh, there she is. Okay, hang on. Oh, wait, I have people waiting to call. Let me talk to these folks first, then I'll get on there. Amazing Maisie. Hello, Amazing Maisie. I cannot hear you, though. I see you, but you're muted, and I don't think I have you muted because your microphone's not blocked here. Cannot hear you. Look, are you on Windows or what are you on? You on a phone? I don't know. Your mute button's not pressed? Huh. Let me do this. Let me get Chris Quinn, hang up, call right back, and maybe it'll work itself out and I'll bring you on after I talk to Chris. Sorry, buddy. We'll see if we can make it happen. All right, Chris Quinn, fuck you, motherfucker, for calling yourself Chris Quinn, you son of a bitch. I can't hear you either, though. Is this my fault? It's my
Hey, Jaffe, is the audio okay, buddy? I wasn't able to use the headphones. When you're running through Streamlabs, it doesn't work. Hey, listen, first time, long time, David Jaffe. Holy fuck, the creator that helped on God of War and another game.
Shut the fuck up, Chris Quinn.
I wish I would have won that fucking toy. I want your autograph so bad.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? What's going on?
Hey, listen, the chat wants you to be respectful tonight, and I've agreed to do that as well. So let's carry on amicably. Is that cool?
No, not if you say something stupid.
Well, I mean, you do that every stream. You expect me to follow the same rule?
What do you want to talk about, jackass?
I want to know how you're doing, first of all, because I've been going pretty hard, right? And I want to make sure the beard's okay. I know you got to shave for your CPAP, and I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. All is good.
Do you use the nasal one or the full face one?
I use it just kind of goes around here or whatever that is. So it's mostly the nose, only the nose.
Okay. Is it what brand is it? Because I'm looking at getting one too. I'm pretty fat these days.
It is, I think it's like a Philips called Dream Machine. It's called the Philips Dream Machine.
That's the fucking Amazon one. We got in Canada, we got Remco or some bullshit.
Okay, well, this is really interesting, Stick. So what'd you call to talk about? God knows it wasn't brands for sleep apnea machines.
No, I was just buttering you up like you did that absolute chat in his garage with all your big learning fucking dictionary words.
Mm-hmm. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, don't rush me here, cunt.
I'm rushing you because let's go. Let's move it along.
All right. Let's get to it. I can see you gyrating in your fucking seat, ready to go.
Well,
listen, I want to ask you this. After all the evidence, 4K in other words, and all the statistics that have proven what I've been saying and stuff, all the violence and all the provable things that we see in the media, online, and other sources, how are you still a liberal?
I will answer that in a moment, but first we have to say happy birthday to Tech because he's calling in from the sushi restaurant. Happy birthday, Tech. Are you guys having fun?
There's no way for me to hear what you're saying because
Are you
we're at
having
the sushi
fun?
place. I have no idea what you're saying. Can you do liberal facial expressions for me so I know what you're talking about?
Are you having a good
Okay, so
time?
Gavin Newsom for president. I see. Thank you for translating.
Let me
Stick
see
solid.
my daughter. Flip the camera. Flip the
She's
camera.
not here.
Where is she?
I think she's in the bathroom.
You think?
She's been gone for like half an hour. So, and her Find My iPhone was turned off like 20
Go
minutes ago.
fucking
So
get my kid, all right? You
I
ain't
don't know
coming
where
home
she's at.
tonight.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's a
where's
party. They're playing the Lego movie on
I
one
can
of the
see
flat
it.
screens here.
I can
It's
see it.
fantastic.
I love that movie.
It's
Tech, happy
wonderful.
birthday! Happy birthday, motherfucker! Happy birthday!
I'm 29. I can do everything I did last year, but now at 29.
You're
There's no
so new. I can.
milestone for 29.
You're so new. I can still smell your mom's piss on you. Fucking A.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm gonna go. They're bringing over more
No,
food,
I
and
want
I'm
my
fat, and I
kid.
eat off
You see
camera. All
my
right, goodbye.
child.
Love you guys.
Let me see my kid.
How do I leave?
I
don't know
want
how to
proof
leave.
of life.
More? Where do I go to leave?
Where's my kid? Hi, baby.
Wait.
Oh, my sweet
He
kid.
said, "My dad is stinky." All right, kick me from the show.
Goodbye, fucked stick. All right. Continue.
You know that
How
guy's
am I?
that guy's an absolute national treasure. I don't know why you don't treat him better.
Because he's an asshole. Now look, what do you mean? Why am I still a liberal?
Do you want me to rephrase the question?
Sure.
I want to know why, after all the evidence that has been shown on the media, provable evidence, 4K video, the statistics that have also been
Of what?
of liberal and progressive violence and how the liberal left is literally ruining your and my country. How can you still be a liberal or a progressive, like you like to use a shield for? How can you still be that way after all this evidence, Jaffe?
Because I don't know what evidence you're pointing to. Here's what I will tell you. I think anyone who breaks the law, unless the law, even if the law is unfair, the laws are there for a reason. It's how we stay a civilized society. But fundamentally, yeah, if you're out there causing harm and violence, unless you're protecting yourself, I do think there's a point where it's like, yeah, man, that's not good no matter what side of the aisle that you're on, whether you're storming the Capitol, whether you're shooting Charlie Kirk, whatever it is that you're doing, that's no bueno. That's French for not allowed, is what I would say.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You do, with all due respect, you do run on with the whole dictionary words and all that.
Well, with all due respect, the dictionary has words and we talk with words.
Well, the dictionary's got a couple of words that if I say you're going to get mad about, so we're not going to go there. But
what word was so challenging that it made you uncomfortable?
Let's not get on the off topic here.
Yeah, right. Because you don't.
So you're saying if somebody breaks the law, that's what you just said. Somebody breaks the law, then you agree that they should be held accountable for what they did, right?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. I mean, there was a case the other day where a guy murdered a guy who he found behind his barn sexually abusing his 5-year-old daughter. And the judge said, you know what? We're not going to do any charges on that. Like, there are cases where I agree that they should not, but the vast majority of times, yes.
Well, wouldn't you say that the people that are enforcing those laws, I mean, they're people that work for the government, and that's something you're staunchly against. So you saying that you agree that people should be held accountable? Well, I mean, Jaffe, you've said it several times. You hate America. You hate the government.
Okay, we are the government. I don't hate the ideals of America. I don't hate the Constitution. I hate Donald Trump. I hate the current administration. That doesn't mean I hate the ideals of what the country is supposed to be and what the Constitution allows us for it to be, including it being malleable so we can change it.
Okay, that somewhat makes sense. I'm a little drunk. Let's go to this Minnesota thing, because I remember you going on LolCow or your show there, Crypt, and talking about the Minnesota situation, right?
Yeah.
And you said, if somebody's wrong, then they should be held accountable, but I don't know all the fucking things. But that being said, she shouldn't be killed by, ICE, because you hate ICE and stuff, right?
Well, no, she shouldn't be. She should not be killed. I don't think she should have been killed because of what happened. No. And I do hate ICE, but that's not that's not why she shouldn't be killed.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I think loss of life on either side, you know, in an undue fashion is fucking gross.
Sure.
But let me ask you this: the Minnesota situation. Have you seen the evidence that's been put out in the last? I would say I'm going to be generous. 2 days. The 4K video, the body cam footage. Have you seen any of it?
It wasn't body cam footage. It was
There is.
no, there's not. You're talking about no.
There
there's
absolutely
not.
is.
There is, but that's not what's been released, and that's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the camera, the cell phone camera that the shooter had that he was filming.
Nope. I'm sorry. Respectfully, I got to stop you.
All right, tell me where
I'm
to find
telling
it.
you.
I've looked
I'm
for it.
telling you, there absolutely is body cam footage now. It got released today. If you haven't seen it, that's fine.
No, it's fine. That's the internet. We have the internet. I'm telling
If you don't mind, because I'm a poor dipshit who lives in a truck and drives around like a piece of shit vagabond. If you don't mind looking it up, taking a quick
I'm
look.
looking it up now.
Fair enough. And while you look at that, I guess my question would be to you. Well, let's let you watch it first.
Video filmed by ICE agent. It was not body cam footage. It was his cell phone.
No, there is. I wish I was on my computer. Anyways,
Everybody's saying it's his cell phone as well, but fine, continue though. I have seen that, and let's assume that's what you're talking about, because whether the camera was here or whether the camera was here, it's not the Zapruder film, right? I mean,
fair enough.
yeah.
I would love to talk to you about the fucking Zapruder film and JFK another day.
Yeah.
So what you've seen on the internet or this whatever you just looked up, which isn't the body cam footage apparently that has been released, is your opinion that this lady was killed for no reason or for a stupid reason, or do you feel that she might have done something that might have warranted a fucking response like that?
Okay, so here's what I will say. I do not have the forensics and legal and ICE handbook open in front of me, and I'm not going to pretend that I know whether or not he was standing at 8% of an angle or he was standing X feet in front of a grill or away from a grill, and thus that triggers this technique that he should. I don't know those things. I can tell you from my layperson's view, it looked like a situation where we have history of these guys being poorly trained, if trained at all. We have
Pretty good shot.
How hard is it to shoot somebody when they're an inch away from your fucking face?
When they're trying to run you over with their Kia Sorento?
The point is, we have evidence of these guys not being all that well trained. We have
well, can you show me that evidence?
We have evidence of ICE, yes, doing all kinds of things that seem like pelting. Yes. So, for example, when you have the evidence of ICE agents that are shooting beanbags at the heads of priests that are just standing there and protesting, right? Or when you have evidence of ICE agents going up to people that are doing nothing other than protesting and exercising their First Amendment rights, shooting them in the face with pepper spray.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I did see that one.
Yeah. So
did you see in that video, the video of the guy that got point blank shot in the face with the pepper ball? Did you see that guy was grabbing for the officer's gun before he shot?
I'm thinking it was a woman, but assuming but
well, let's not get too far off.
Well, you're the one who was asking for evidence. So I was telling you that okay. So my take on these guys is they're not well trained. They don't have a lot of time to prepare before they go out in the field. They don't have to have much of any kind of background. Like they're these are the rejects from the cops.
Hold on a sec. How do you know about the hiring procedure of ICE? Have you looked into it?
I have looked into how long they train for, but I haven't looked in, and I've also looked into the fact that they're offering these bonuses, and apparently it's very. Now, here's what I'll say could be a left talking point, but we can look this up. But my understanding is it ain't that hard to get a job with ICE.
Well, tell me, since you've got all the information about it, can you tell me how long it takes and what the hiring procedure is?
Yeah, let's look at it right now.
Because what I do know, police officers, they do an 11-week course, at least in Canada anyways. And that's all it takes for them to get a gun on their hip and start pressing fucking government bullshit.
Sure, but the guys in Canada ride horses and they have the little barrels of alcohol around their nose.
No, those are the dogs. Those are the dogs.
Whatever. All right. Getting a job with ICE is competitive but feasible, especially with current hiring pushes requiring strict federal standards, citizenship, background degree, and passing rigorous physical mental polygraph tests with attractive incentives like signing bonuses and loan repayment. You have to be a citizen under 37. You have to have a bachelor's degree is required, which that doesn't seem accurate. You're telling me all these guys graduated.
Well, you're reading it verbatim off the internet. You looked it up. That seems pretty reasonable to me.
Yeah, but it seems reasonable. I'm not sure I agree with it. That's true, but extensive background checks, polygraph, drug test, potentially. Okay, hang on a minute. That seems surprising.
Oh, so it seems like it doesn't fit your narrative. So we're talking about drug tests.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. Okay, sorry.
Yes, I will. If it turns out that those things are accurate, look at.
Oh, okay.
What? I'm not doing this with you. You're trying to win a battle. I'm trying to get information. If it turns out that these guys all have to be college graduates, that doesn't forgive them for what they do in their actions, but it surprises the shit out of me that someone can go through 4 years of college and graduate and still be as stupid as these guys seem to be. But no, I will acquiesce to the fact that, I have it wrong. It wasn't that hard to be. I thought it was super easy.
All right, so you lose and I win.
Okay, if that's what this is the problem we have. That's
I'm fucking with you.
That's where your mind is. I want to solve the problem. You just want to win.
All right, so fair enough. That's a good point. I'm being a little drunk and stupid. So let's solve the problem here. So I'm not going to harp on this too much, but you said, they're undertrained. We've now learned that that's not true.
No, we have not learned that's not true. We've learned that it's not easy.
I don't have a bachelor's degree.
That doesn't mean you're undertrained. That just means that you haven't met the qualifications necessarily, and you're also not an American citizen.
That's true. I wish I was. Fuck.
Okay, well,
Can
that's
you adopt me?
No, but you can fucking get over here and do it legally.
Don't go
I'm
down
not
that
opposed.
road.
I'm not opposed to that. But anyway, though, my point as it relates to Minnesota,
sure,
is that I look at this and I say,
was it justified?
I have no way of knowing that. What I see is I see inconsistencies with the way they handled that situation, and I am predisposed to feel these guys are thugs and assholes because of how I've seen them act in other videos. And even in this video, after he shot her and he called her a fucking bitch and then left the crime scene. Right. So I'm kind of going, my ears and eyes suggest to me that this was not a by the book thing. This was an emotional shooting. However, for all I know, and that's why I had a problem with Trump going up there and Vance going up there and Noam going up there. And what they should have said was, we don't know yet. We saw the footage you saw. It's tragic either way. And we will be putting the full resources of Department of Homeland Security and the FBI or whatever behind investigating this. And we'll get back to you, instead of within 2 minutes going, he's a hero. She was a terrible radical left person, which is not
I didn't
illegal.
call him a hero. First of all, I didn't call him a hero.
I didn't say you did. Trump did.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm talking to you. I don't care about what Trump said. I wanted to know if you thought it was justified or not.
I don't know. Right? I don't know
That's
yet.
Fine. But Jaffe, you got it. This interrupting thing is showing me that you're very uncomfortable talking about this.
I'm uncomfortable with the fact that my ratings are dropping.
That's because one guy in chat said it. Come on.
No, I'm watching the number. I have the number up here.
All right, so
we went.
You're
from
saying that we don't know the situation about Minnesota, and we're waiting, and we're gonna prosecute him with full extent of the law. I don't know if Tim Wall texted you before this fucking live stream or not, but what I'll tell you, Jaffe, without the interruptions, all due respect, I did let you talk. It is absolutely your show, and thank you very much for having me up.
Yeah,
but you're saying, we're going to wait for the evidence and this and that. I've seen the body cam footage. It did just come out today. You're going to see it eventually.
Yeah, you didn't, but okay.
This man was struck by a fucking vigilante, white, lesbian, liberal.
Goodbye.
Okay? Goodbye. Hold on. Whoa. I got more. I got some good stuff after that. Hold on.
All right, let's bring in Amazing Maisie. Amazing Maisie, can you talk? Can't hear you, buddy. Embers Arcade, can you talk?
Yeah, I could talk.
All right, cool. Maisie, we're going to keep you on for now. We can't see you, and I don't think we can hear you, but if you can get that working, let us know. All right, what do you got, Embers? How's it going, bud?
Hey, dude, I was just stopping by and listening to whatever all that was.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think that was going very well for our Canadian friend.
No.
But more than anything, I think I was just talking to a friend of mine who's so incredibly distraught about the state of the world that it's being or it's become this like boogeyman, this sort of Damocles or something that's just hanging over her. She can't find any peace, and I wonder if maybe these kinds of conversations aren't fruitful, or if they don't go anywhere, if they don't really serve a good purpose. I mean, what does it serve for us to analyze this thing that we can't change, and that our opinions don't have any real impact on, other than just maybe satisfying our morbid curiosity to delve into these things?
My guess would be that this is, all of these things, not that this one is specifically bigger or smaller than George Floyd or 9/11 or the Capitol or whatever. But I think there is kind of a nationwide trauma that we're all dealing with, and we're trying to get our heads around what is a very surreal perception of a country that has never felt this way in our lifetime. And so I think the natural response is to try to talk it out and solve it and express it. And I think there is a point where that becomes unhealthy, but this just happened yesterday, right? So I don't think that, but I will agree with you that we also are swimming in the waters of social media and cable news, and how many other people were killed yesterday, right? I mean, it's different in the sense that this represents more than just a murder, but so I don't think us talking about it, I think if in 2 weeks we're still ruminating on it every day, we should look into what else might be going on. But I do think there's a trauma happening that we're trying to deal with.
I mean, sure, I understand that for sure, and that's not to say that it's baseless, but I think that I've seen this cycle, and of course you certainly have, so often where we as a nation are meant to have these very difficult conversations with one another, and nobody listens to one another, like this gentleman who is not American, but for whatever reason,
I was listening to some of this or all this stuff. I don't agree with all of it, but the guy who called before, I was totally listening to. I thought he had some good points.
Well, he wasn't listening to you, right? And I think that he is symptomatic. Oh no, I mean he was trying to win a battle, like you said.
Are you talking about Stick Solid or the guy before Stick Solid?
The guy who was just on before.
Oh no, Stick Solid's a fucking moron. Stick Solid is lucky if he can put his pants on in the morning.
Yes, I think it's very clear that he room temperature IQ at best.
Yeah.
And look, I don't want to say that. That sounds really mean to say that, but I think that it's true that you could see and you could detect the sort of the malice that possesses somebody, where all they want to do is be so right.
Yeah, but he's playing a character. You have to. That's why I kicked him off. He's not a serious. He's doing a bit, and he thinks
sure about that.
Well, he may act. It may be based on some things that he actually believes, but Stick has always been. He likes to think he's like equal with me in terms of being a provocateur, and it's just like, dude, come on, baby. It's you're like the Temu version of Jaffe, buddy. You can't do what I do. You can't do what I do.
I've met a lot of people that are on his level. He seems very earnest about what he thinks, and I think it is true that he isn't capable of engaging in entertaining ideas that he disagrees with. I think that's very clear. But I also think that he represents like a majority of the voting bloc across the entire Western world.
I think there's some truth there for sure. There's a lot of people that believe that, but again, I feel sympathy, even though they harm a lot of people, because they're being fed it. You have to be a critical thinker, and we're not critical thinkers in this country for the most part. You have to be willing to not be right. You have to be willing to take the blows. It's kind of like the Rocky speech he gave you as a kid, but instead of boxing, it's a metaphor for being educated. You have to be willing to kill your babies when it comes to things you think you know, and you have to be a slave to the truth, or as much of the truth as you can find while you're here.
I was going to mention that so I deleted my Twitter recently. And I think that was a fantastic life decision. I've been a lot more focused on things. And I found, even with my X icon off of my home screen on my phone, that I would have these almost automated movements where I'd pull my phone out of my pocket and I would unlock my phone and I would reach towards that button, even though it's not there anymore. Right?
Terrible for you. Yeah.
And I feel I was like disgusted at myself for even having this like Pavlovian response to grabbing my phone. And so I'm wondering how captured so many of us are by having. I mean, I know you say we're fed it, and I suppose there's truth to that, but I also think that we're eating it willingly. I think
because it's a distraction. I mean, it's a terrible cycle, right? We live in chaos. I mean, and how it's really, I mean, not to get into it with you on religion, but it's not that much different than religion. It's something that comes along to make us feel better about the chaos that is life and the unknown that is life. And whether we can distract ourselves with social media, whether we can tell ourselves there's a guy in the cloud that's taking care of us, whether we tell ourselves it's a simulation, it's something that is a balm to this wound of being smart enough to know that we're unaware of what the fuck is going on. And so I understand why people rush to those dopamine hits, but I agree with you that there's a great value in weaning yourself off it.
Absolutely. So this friend that I was talking to earlier today, who was so incredibly distraught about the state of the world, and is inconsolable about it as well. Like there's nothing that anyone can say to I think calm her down, which is, I think it's upsetting to me, because it's like, what are you supposed to do with somebody that's so upset about the political state of things and is clearly in a high state of stress, but like can't talk them down from that because
Have you tried cunnilingus?
No, Jaffe.
So take the stress off, takes the edge.
No, I'm married.
Well, sorry. Everybody gets a pass every now and then.
That's not true. The point being is that I think that what I tried to explain to her was that I think that a lot of people see things in reverse order than they should be. I think that we wake up in the morning and we look at Donald Trump and we're like, oh my God, I'm so angry about Donald Trump.
Right.
And then you work downwards from there across your day, when it's so obvious to me that you're supposed to work baturds. You're supposed to start with yourself.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious for you, but let me ask you this. What was the motivation for you to turn off Twitter? Because something occurred to you where you said, I don't want this in my life anymore. So what was that?
The feeling, just the emotional feedback that I would get from just using it. It was miserable. I would turn it on.
So why don't you think other people do that?
I think that they like it. I think that they enjoy it. They've developed a neural pathway that.
Yeah, but you did as well. You said right now you'll reach for your phone and you'll just habitually reach for the icon.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. I'm saying that.
Why were you able to recognize it as something that was damaging you enough that you were willing to walk away?
But I don't have a real answer for you, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's the important thing. I mean, that's really important, is that people are able to recognize it and go, oh, wait a minute. Because I agree with your friend. There are days that I feel we're going to hell in a handbasket. And I don't think the people that are like, it's not that bad. It is pretty bad in places and in scenarios. But I also think that we are being primed to, like, the people who wake up and work backwards are the ones that are making the money off keeping us angry and anxious, right? They're the ones who basically say, I'm not going to get caught up in that. Steve Jobs didn't let his kids have iPhones and iPads. They're like, I'm making the crack, man. I'm not taking the crack, And so I think fundamentally, the sooner we recognize that it is a snapshot of the world, but it's not 100% of what the world is, we'll be better, and your friend will be better. Because yeah, man, there are times if all you do is spend time reading the news, you would be forgiven. Like, you have to be able to hold two things in your brain. You have to be able to hold, there are some terrible things going on and things are very serious in places and very dire, but we're also not falling off a cliff at the moment yet. And
I
there are
think we also
things
delude ourselves into thinking that it's always our responsibility to save the world, and it really isn't. It can't be. I mean, that's insane. You
no, but
can't hold to account for the state of the world that you inherited. You have to start with yourself and then work upwards, right? You're not working backwards.
yeah, sure. But you also have to start, you are responsible for who you vote for. You are responsible for, figuring out the right amount to open the valve of how much information you let in that is healthy and how much is, overdoing it. Right. So I don't think that the response to you can't save the world means you throw your hands up and say, I'll just bury my head in the sand.
Well, no, I'm not saying that's what you should do. What I'm saying is that there has to be an order to the way that we think about things, or else we are in chaos personally. And you can see that when you talk to people who wake up in the morning and the first thing that they're thinking about are things that they can't control. You're not thinking about, I don't know, brushing your teeth or saying I love you to the person that you live with, or things that are pretty basic and easy.
People are doing. I do all those things.
I mean, good. You seem like a well-adjusted individual, David Jaffe.
First time anybody's ever said that to me.
I think that what I was observing here tonight is an indication of some kind of a sickness that I don't think we're going to be able to solve. Especially that gentleman before me.
Well, I don't think you should use him as a barometer of any kind of. I mean, I think you're right. There are a lot of people who actually are like him, and even though he's playing a character, but here's the thing: the best thing we could do, which would be terrible, is to basically ban social media and ban cable news. It's terrible. We shouldn't do that, but we should. We're not responsible enough for it. We're just not.
I mean, I think that if you were to sit down and try to get the numbers, that you could determine pretty easily that 24/7 cable news and social media have been a net negative on the development of the human species. I don't think that's a controversial opinion to say.
No,
I think it would absolutely be a better place if we nuked it. And I know, I'm certain of this personally.
But it would come at the cost of the American experiment, and at which point maybe that's okay. I mean, you're basically having to say, I mean, ultimately, what do you do when the ideology of America is so noble and so worthwhile, but when you come to the awareness that we are not qualified for that noble idea, do we just continue being in pain as we hope against hope that we evolve to become worthy of the Constitution? Or do we say, we're not there yet, let's revisit this in 100 years and let's do 75% Constitution, 25%, we're not going to have social media. We're going to infringe on some freedoms that we all vote on. I just don't know. It becomes very dangerous to think about it like that, because it totally puts a stake in the heart of what America is supposed to stand for.
I think that this is probably a controversial thing to say, so I'll be very careful with how I say it. But I wonder if it's become impossible to have a nation that doesn't have some semblance of unifying principle. So as an example, I live in Los Angeles, and I've grown up in Los Angeles. And one of the phenomenons that I've grown up observing here is the formation of, I don't know what the word is, like borders, like ethnic borders within the city that are erected. Sorry for using that word. I could have picked a better one. Not by the government or the state council or anything like that, but by the people who live in these neighborhoods. And I grew up specifically around a great deal of racially charged gang violence just outside of Los Angeles. And I've been wrestling with the reality of that experience for my entire life, because it's very scary, and it runs counter to what I was sold in public school, which was this idea that the United States is an opportunity to be a blank slate of a country. You come here, the old blood feuds are gone, all the old history is wiped away, and we get to be unified under a new ideal, and we get to be Americans together. And it doesn't seem like in practice that can operate functionally when you have so many divisions that are put forward not by the people in charge, but by the people who simply live in these neighborhoods. And I've been trying to reconcile that my entire life, because at any point you can walk through, like, the Americana. I go to the Americana a lot on the weekends, 50 languages. And it's like, can we have a country with 50 languages? And that's
Well,
not to say it's a bad
that's gonna
thing.
go away soon with all the translation tools and stuff. But
Well, I mean, and wonderful. Maybe maybe that's not a problem, but I think that I don't know that it's not a problem, right? I don't know that it's not some cause for concern that there are people living amongst one another who don't perceive each other as kinsmen, because I don't think
here's the real challenge is what we perceive, right? Because like right now, and I don't mean this disrespectfully in any way, but right now you perceive me being in a headspace to want to have this conversation, and I'm just like, I'm so fried, dude. All I want to do, it's not that I don't want to have this conversation with you, but I got to go get a Coke. I'm going to go into Bunny's server. So stick around.
Can I ask you something real quick
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I go? What's your most anticipated game of 2026?
Oh, it's an impossible question, right? So, I mean, I care very much. I'm very excited about a lot of games like Resident Evil Requiem. If it turns out Grand Theft Auto comes out, I'm very curious about that. Honestly, though, it's probably like some indie thing. Like I'm really excited in March for a game called Retro Rewind, which is a game about running a 90s video store. It's like a simulation.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, the demo's out. I've been playing a great game called Bookstore Simulator, which I fucking can't stop playing. I'm really getting more into games like that these days. So I need to make a list. Maybe I'll make a video about it, but I'll tell you the next time we talk.
Are you aware of Styx Blades of Greed? Do you like stealth games?
No, I hate stealth games, but I know what it is though, and the trailer was pretty cool the other day that came out.
Oh man, game of the year. Anyway, I'll let you be.
All right, thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, Embers.
You have a good night, man.
Yeah. No offense to Embers, I like talking to him, but I just it's too late for that kind of Poindexter talk. Amazing Maisie, are you there? Oh, come on, amazing. I don't know what's going to happen, buddy. I can't get to you. I can't pull you out. You're in the black hole, baby. You're in the black hole. I can't talk to you, buddy. I maybe join the Discord, but I don't know what else to do. Sorry, Maisie. Let's go into Bunny's channel for a second. K-Nub says Stick loves K-Nubs now, by the way. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate the super chat. All right, let me share my screen over here real quick. Hang on. All right. So by the way, you guys are on a live stream now, if you don't mind. Bunny, is that okay?
Did I not just tell all you guys he was going to show up right quick? Let's go, baby.
You did say that. You said that.
Well, he's bored. He's not getting enough drama.
How are you, Jeff?
I have to go
91 views. Yeah, fuck.
Let Jeffy talk.
I'm good. I have to go get a Coke, so I figured I'd put you guys on. I didn't know Stick was in here though.
Oh, I thought that was Ann for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's in here
it
too.
is Mr. Clinic.
I'm here too, Ashley.
Okay, please be quiet. I'm talking to Mr. Clinic.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. But by the way, if you're
Good
watching the
question. If I
show,
say something very absurd, are you going to get demonetized?
Jeffy, don't leave just because you're
Don't
not the main
say
character.
anything.
But
I'm not leaving. I'm gonna go get a
it.
goddamn
Hey,
Coke.
Jeffy.
I'll be right
Anything at
back.
all.
Go ahead.
Jeff,
Jeff,
really
Jeff,
quick.
Jeff,
Go get a damn Coke, God damn it.
He's getting a goddamn Coke. Leave him be.
Hey, Chad.
Jeff,
All right, my bad.
Jeffy, you
Let the
old
man
fuck.
get a Coke.
What? Go
Maisie is
score
in
a key,
your-
fucking Jaffe. Go ahead.
Hey, guys,
He's
hold on a
going to the
second.
front door
Jeffy,
to get
can you
his
listen
oat
to me
milk
for a second?
Starbucks.
Can you
We all
guys
know it.
stop
He's gone.
narrating what he's doing? It's so annoying.
Hi,
Leave him alone because he is going to the front door. Shut up.
He got a Somalian to deliver a Coke to his front door.
What about me, Bunny?
Okay, who gives a fuck?
So the chat is chanting your name, Anthony. They're like, Anthony.
And for me.
I know.
And for me.
I just had a big drama about me that lasted like 4 hours in chat.
Yeah, because you make everything about you when there is no drama.
Anthony, I heard you had a
Exactly
nice
why.
new thick dick pic come out, buddy. That new dick pic made the fucking New York Times.
No new dick pic.
That new
No
dick
new
pic
dick
didn't
pic.
go anywhere. Let's be real.
Only to everybody in this chat.
No new
If
dick pic.
Anthony
Don't
even
be
tried to
lying.
release a dick pic, it literally will just be recycled back into his town circular. No one's
Dude,
looking at it.
my dick pic got
Smell
sent to
it
like
before he
1,000 people. My dick pic got sent to like 1,000 people. Actually,
Why do you think that Prince killed
Yeah, and
himself? He
that's why
got
you
too many
fucked
dick
Jennifer
pics from Anthony.
Garner, right?
No, dude, that happened. Fucking Ganja Goddess revenge porn to me and sent it to like 1,000 people.
Oh my god, I bet Jennifer Garner was so upset. She was probably so jealous about it.
You know what? If somebody fucking sent a picture of your fat ass out, you'd be upset too.
No, I would be fucking proud. You know what? Because I don't brag about fucking people I didn't fuck.
She's a proud slam pig.
I literally slam. I'm the piggy, and I don't lie about it. I keep my mouth shut like a
whatever
good
Ice
little
Cubes,
piggy.
whatever
I'm a
Ice
good little
Cubes,
piggy, and you're
whatever
not.
Ice Cubes, whatever Ice
Jesus
Cubes,
Christ. What's with all the violence in here tonight?
whatever Ice
No,
Cubes,
it's Anthony. Because
Whatever
Anthony's
Ice
a
Cubes.
fucking liar.
whatever Ice Cubes,
Literally fucking
whatever Ice
liar.
Cubes.
Literally,
Fucking
Anthony's
liar.
a little while.
Yeah, Perla's going over to Fawn's house to talk shit about you tomorrow. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? They're gonna talk shit about you and your Ice Cubes.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
really-
Is that you?
I don't really
Anthony?
think that's going to be the main topic. If it is the main topic, I really hope that she doesn't go there because it will be the most boring visit. Oh my
Jaffe, they're
god!
being exceptionally violent, just like leftists and progressives tonight, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm being as respectful as I can. These guys are crazy.
They gotta
Yeah,
have
it's especially my fault.
Yeah, it's Ashley's fault. Everything's Ashley's fault.
I'm doing good, Jeffy. How are you?
Glad you. Is your podcast tomorrow?
It is tomorrow night at 8 my time.
Okay.
8
On
p.m.
YouTube?
Central.
Yes. So
Eastern.
Bunny is doing a podcast tomorrow with Jessica Pizzle and Peepaw.
Peepaw River.
Okay, so that's gonna be tomorrow night.
Meemaw, Peepaw, and Seesaw.
And it's gonna be live, right?
Ding
So
dong.
we can tune in live.
Ding dong.
Yeah, it'll be live.
And this is
Ling
your
long. Ding.
and this is your own podcast, right? It's not Peepaw.
Yeah,
that you're
yeah.
coming on.
Oh, it is
Who's the
Peepaw,
club?
but I mean, I'm a new co-host. Me and Peepaw has had this podcast for like
A long
4
time.
years, I think. Yeah, and
Okay.
he took a break for a while, but he's bringing it back.
Okay,
Jaffe, you better not be recording this VC. That's against the rules in the place that you beg to come back to.
I will be.
Jaffe, can you record my cat for me on this
I will
VC?
be listening.
Hey,
tomorrow
Jaffe,
night.
not to like cut through everything right now, but that amazing Maisie person's actually in your
Oh.
Discord VC. I was
All right.
just talking to her. She's
All
in
right.
the Madhouse waiting
I'm gonna
room.
go bring her on right now. All right, you guys. Bye. Over.
I got
Bunny.
you, dude.
Bunny, I'll see you tomorrow night.
Have a great night,
See you
Mr.
later,
You
Cornett.
two guys. There they go. There they go. Let's bring in Maisie. Amuz and Muzu. Hang on. So, here we go. Well, how's that working, Maisie? Can you hear me? Hang on. Oh, I see. She can't.
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can hear you, but there's probably a delay. Can you hear me right now?
Are we good?
I think
Hear it
we're-
all?
I can. Can you hear me? MK Ness, can you hear me?
I could hear you. I could hear Maisie. I could hear you both. You might
Maisie's
need
got
to turn up
Maisie's
Maisie
got
a little bit.
delay. Maisie's got a delay though. Like I can hear
Hold up,
UK
I'm
Nubs instantly.
confused.
I think she's watching on YouTube or something.
I love you. Oh, sorry. That's beside the point.
Me too, buddy. Okay, so I was
Aw.
trying to type this all out. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I could hear you.
You can. Okay. All right. Okay. I was taking notes, Jaffe. So you'll remember that when we went into COVID, masks were not available for like the first 6 months, right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Maisie, but I think you're watching on YouTube and not the Discord. Is that right?
I don't know. I have
I'm
one
hearing her
active-
pretty immediately. To be
Hang on, you
completely
guys.
honest,
Hey,
like
buddy.
I don't have a delay with her at all.
Where are you?
fucking Jew.
That's true, but you're out.
Got it. Let me send it right now.
Who was
Sorry.
that?
Love you, baby.
Oh my god. Okay.
Maisie,
so
hang on 1 second. K-Nubs, talk to
masks
people.
were not available for the first 6 months.
No, he's gone. He's gone. Keep going.
I'll be right
I
there.
think
I'll
you
be
might
right
be
there.
on delay, Jaffe.
This is a new phone, I'll be real with you. And it kind of sucks.
Honey,
Emmy.
Hey,
love
honey,
you.
girl.
It got too loud in there.
it was a lot. Stick Solid is a very loud voice in a crowd, and I don't know how to cut through it. I love the guy, but holy shit, he hurt my brain.
Yeah.
And he has some really stupid opinions too, being real.
But he's God's lovable idiot. And that's what's important.
I don't know. Anybody who calls people illegal is just low intelligence.
Hey, we're all legal in God's eyes.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, like, we're all sinners, sure, but that's not illegal.
It's illegal to sin. I'm pretty positive.
Grace
That's
of
how the
God.
Lord would want to be. Yep. Amen, sister. Amen, Alabama.
Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. So what's going on, Maisie?
Okay, I got a list. You
All
ready
right.
for me?
Ready. Let's do it.
Check it twice, Santa
Okay.
Jaffe.
That's right. You got to be prepared. All right. So the first at least 6 months of us going into the pandemic, masks were not available.
Okay.
Right. And this was
Okay.
because Trump depleted the emergency stores that we had in place for a pandemic. So he didn't feel that it was necessary to actually have the masks and other medical resources available to us if we should face a pandemic, right?
So he did it to what? Cut
Then-
budget or what?
I guess. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, I think he believes in MMT. You know what that is, right?
No.
Modern monetization theory.
Okay.
It's the theory that money doesn't actually mean anything.
Well,
And that's why
as
Republicans
Kanye
drive
says, not having money's not everything. Not having it is.
it's the idea that you can run up the federal deficit with no consequences because money is meaningless.
Okay.
And I've had extensive conversations with one of my economy professors about that. And he said that we could get away with it for about 2 quarters and then they were going to have to do something. And he was right. I talked to him in April 2020 about this. Okay. So anyway, he tanked us financially
Okay.
and left it for Biden.
Okay.
So, and then he had the Rose Garden party. You remember that, right?
I mean, it was all blurring. I remember the bleach, and I remember him talking about shining lights in the body. I don't remember the Rose Garden party. What was that?
He had nominated, he tried to nominate somebody very quickly for Supreme Court, and she and her family all had COVID and infected everybody that was
yeah, right. Yep. Okay, I remember that.
Chris Christie almost died, right?
Trump got it, not from that, but Trump got it. Yeah.
Trump got it and gave it to Chris Christie because he was coaching him for the debate.
Good Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we had all that going on, and then finally he got out of office for at least 4 years, but now we have him back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing that your guest mentioned was illegal immigrants. Nobody is illegal. No person's existence.
Yeah, I don't
is
like.
illegal.
I know. The term. That's why somebody accused me of like they always think whenever you do things that the left likes. They think you're doing it for points, and I'm doing it because I think I agree with you. It is like undocumented seems a lot kinder, but I understand your point. Yes, but
Well, not only that, not only is it just that they are undocumented workers, but these are seasonal migrant farmers who even George W. Bush was trying to set up a scenario where they could have like temporary passes to come in for the farming seasons.
Right.
And then they could go back home to their home nations. And he got overruled by these Tea Party Republicans.
Right. Yeah, I do remember that.
Also,
I mean, yeah,
like,
they're
to throw this
apart.
out there really quick for the
Yeah.
discussion,
Yeah.
like what determines like what a legal person is during everything? Because like if you have an open borders policy while you're president and someone migrates during an open borders policy, aren't they actually like legal immigrants at that point?
Well, they're not citizens.
Not exactly.
Though. I think it's a question of
Like
are you a
they're kind of
citizen,
like
right?
this legal gray area, but then like, you know, retroactively someone could be like, hey, they're illegal immigrants. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at is like, you know, like a lot of like the policy that comes here at this point, like with Trump saying that they're illegal immigrants now, when other presidents have had like a legal or a open borders policy, does that change things at all? Like, I know that we're acting like it changes things, but does it?
I don't think it was ever really an open borders policy, but at least during Reagan and during Clinton, they both had these programs where
Bunny,
they
it's a great time for you.
Bunny, no, yeah, don't go yet, Bunny. Don't go, baby. Come on now.
We have an open clown policy in this VC.
Well,
Clowns
here's
are
what
open.
here's what I'll say. I'm torn because I know Maisie's been waiting a long time, but I also know, Maisie, that I'm no longer in the headspace to talk rationally about things, and I just want to say stupid shit. And I'm just being honest with you. And I know that that's like, dude, I want to talk about fucking policy. You sound very smart. And I'd love for you to talk about those things, but I can't give you my best. I'm exhausted. And here's Bunny. So can we talk about this later? And let's talk about something more fun now.
Yeah, dude, you can totally contact me whenever you're
No,
available.
why
but,
don't you
like,
stay and talk about something else, though? We don't want you to go, but let's talk about crazy shit.
Well,
Yeah,
because
show
I
your
wrote a
show
list.
fun stuff.
You wrote a list.
I wrote a list. Stop it.
You wrote a manifesto, and I want to hear the manifesto.
All right, all
Don't get me
right,
wrong.
all right. Keep going.
She's passionate, and I respect that.
All right, keep going with
Amen,
your list.
buddy.
Keep going with your list, baby. Let's go.
One's in
Okay.
chat for the manifesto.
So anyway,
Say it like a Muppet, though. Do a,
Yeah.
do a voice.
Like Kermit the
Funny.
Frog.
I
Kermit
love
would like
you,
something
girl.
to happen.
Now, now, Maisie, I hear
That sound like
you are
John Cena
glad
just for a second.
that Charlie Kirk died. Is that true, Maisie?
Is that true,
Charlie
Maisie?
Kirk?
That's a good point.
That
Yeah.
you killed Charlie
absolutely.
Kirk?
Bruno is having an affair with JD Vance. Let's go there.
Yeah, no kidding. That's probably true. Probably true.
Okay.
Back to your list.
No,
Here we go.
I'll hold off on my list. If you want to have a conversation on the side, I got lots, dude.
Oh, I
I've
would love
been
for you to come on the
studying-
proper show. I want to hear about it. I just right now I think we've kind of burned that goodwill with the audience. I think we've kind of gotten as far as we're going to get tonight on it. And please let's keep talking. I'd love for you to call in with a much more
Yeah,
serious
because I got
conversation.
okay. I'll just give you like the points, and it's not like my descriptions, right?
Okay, go.
I wrote down abortion, vaccine killing with a question mark, Russia trying to get California to secede, gender spectrum, and ICE. I was going to talk about all those subjects.
God damn, woman, you need a fucking
Man,
show of your own. What
Make it
time do you-
PowerPoint.
what
Yeah,
time
no
do you
kidding.
come on
No, right?
YouTube? Good Lord. All right. You should just come on and be a guest and let's just talk.
I want the Maisie TED Talk
I want,
immediately.
I want
Get
Macy
that going.
Jaffe talking about the left progressive issues because she seems like a woman cut from the same cloth.
Well, we got to put it behind a paywall and give me some money for it.
All right. That's fine.
Amen.
That's the way
Also,
to
like
do
at
it.
the same token, in all fairness, even though we've had people like drop in viewership, this would kill like any viewership just talking about politics, just in general. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I'll let
Yeah, it would. Are you kidding?
I'll let
I don't
Tim
know.
Pool and Hassan Piker and Destiny know that.
Are you known for being
Well,
a
everybody's
politi-
in the
like,
audience.
They're
is
they're
just
known for
hoping
being
that
a
they will suck
political
their dicks.
speaker.
I'm not known for
Well,
anything,
that too, but-
you dumb fuck.
Well, and we're
Well, you're dumb
entering.
for being an autistic dumb fuck that makes video games.
But
That's
we're
all you're known
also
for.
entering a year in which we're about to flip the House and
God,
the Senate.
I hope so.
It's,
I hope so.
yeah. So it is going to become more and more of a topic, and I keep it like I'm retired, you guys. I'm totally retired because I got
time
injured.
to make lists. I got list on list. I'm retired as
I
fuck.
got spreadsheets. I got time.
I'm getting called by high-level politicals in California to try and get my involvement in shit, like going to Gaffey Gifford's speech. I don't have time for this bullshit. I can barely walk.
How do they know who you are? Are you a very well-known lady in those circles?
Yes, I've traveled the country, Jaffe.
Well, I don't care if you've traveled the country. Amazing Maisie. Like, are you known? Like, if I went up to what was that lady's husband, George Conway, who's running for something? If I went up to him, would he know who you are?
I don't know who George Conway is.
Kellyanne Conway's husband, ex-husband.
I don't know, but
then a side note, real quick, Stick Storage Unit says
Oh,
justice
this
for
guy.
Gunny. She was forcefully pulled from her own VC to engage in this loss of
didn't force
viewership.
her to-
And
I
it's
didn't
not
pull her in
okay.
here. I went to get a-
How do you respond to those allegations?
I went
Jeffy
to get a
Gump.
Coke and I came back and here was this delightful, whimsical skedaddler in here. I didn't pull her in here.
I need to know. Inquiring minds need to know.
Well, I'll tell you this, Jaffe. Probably Gavin Newsom knows who I am.
You think he's going to run for
Ooh.
president? Probably. Come on.
A handsome fuck.
Yeah, he's probably going to run for president.
Well, if he runs,
Do you know
against
who I
JD
like that's
Vance,
actually on the Democratic side
It's
is
staggering.
James Tallarico.
Okay.
Have you looked up James Tallarico?
No, because I tried to actually fucking retire. I'm being real with you. I like tried to step aside.
From what? What was your job?
The last thing that I was doing was I talked to you before, Jaffe. I was on your show before. I was a call-in, and I told you that I was leading a Canvas team throughout Hollywood, and we were running into a lot of Scientologists.
Joker.
And it was kind of scary, right? So,
those people. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
okay, well, I got bit by an obese pit bull, and it created. It was such a shock to my system that I have complex regional pain syndrome.
Why did somebody bite you?
It was a dog, dude.
Oh, you said it was a tipple. I thought it was like a LOLcow Universe fan or something.
Instead of pit bull, an obese
pit
That would be more
bull.
deadly,
I
in all
thought you
fairness.
said tipples.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been actually not involved for a couple of years, but they're trying to drag me back in.
When you say canvas, you mean like you were going around and registering people to vote and whatnot?
We were doing ballots on the measure and trying to promote city council candidates.
Good for you. Good for you. I want you to call back. I want to talk politics with you. It's just right now I can't do it.
Well, call me anytime, buddy. I'm disabled. I'm home all
how
the
do I
time.
find you? I don't know how to find you. Do you have a?
I'm in your Discord. You can figure this out.
As Amazing Maisie.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right,
Maisie, send me a request, and I'll also bug the shit out of
Yeah, I
Jaffe
would love
about it,
that.
too.
I would love
I'll
when
just, you know what? I'll just you've been in contact with me tonight. I'll just send you my cell number. You can give it to him.
Okay.
Me?
That sounds good.
Yeah, why not?
Just send me a DM.
You're my best friend in the world. I love
Send
you.
me a DM. All right, Maisie. Thank you, buddy. We'll talk
All right, take
soon.
care, guys.
You too, buddy.
Take care.
Yeah, I want to talk to her. I want to hear what she has to say. I just
No, she seems wonderful. I think maybe if we like set aside some time just to like talk politics, I think that'd be
Yeah,
really
I think
fun.
we've been talking politics for like 2 hours. So, and then there's this guy named Saskatchewan who's on the show. What's up,
Bless you.
champion? Saskatchewan Sean.
What's going on,
I
guys?
see Black Brother.
that's
Oh,
our
is
Black
that
Brother
is that Busey? That's our Black brother.
Well, I got somebody on the
Are the
YouTube.
Colts?
Wait, let me talk to Saskatchewan first. What's up, buddy? Can you wait while I talk to Bunny?
Pardon me?
What?
Yes.
Okay, Saskatchewan, Sean. I'll bring you on in 5 minutes. Okay.
Cheers, bro.
All right, Bunny. What's going on? Bunny.
What?
Do what? How high are you, champion?
I'm pretty high. How are
Why
you?
don't you turn on the camera? Why don't you turn on the camera, B?
I put my camera up most
Oh.
nights because my tripod takes up a room. And it's just,
Okay, fair enough.
I'm here.
Is my face not good enough for
You
you,
know
Jeffy?
what I look like.
I don't know what you look like now because
Yeah.
you've been putting crazy pictures up on YouTube, and it's like you got now your hair's all curly and you look like a different clown.
What?
Because
I'll tell you what she looks like.
same old clown.
She looks like a hot piece of shit, and you should just
A
be
hot
lucky
piece
to be
of
talking to her.
shit.
Thank you.
Were you trying to?
That's-
Oh, look at him! He fucked up.
That was
He
so
fucked-
good.
You are so bad with women. What you
No, it
wanted
was
to
really
say-
good.
What you wanted to say was a hot piece of ass, but you have no skill. You
No.
have no experience, and so you just went to a hot piece of
No.
shit.
I think he meant to say hot piece of shit.
No,
I
he
meant to
didn't.
say hot piece of
Yo,
shit.
Just
She's a
wait.
hot
Yeah.
piece of shit, man.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Like
Come
she's
on.
worthless, but at least she's hot.
What the fuck is a
She
hot
might be
piece
a
of
garbage
shit
fire,
even
but
look-
she's the one I want to be with, you know?
Oh,
Yep,
wow.
see?
Okay.
I
Hell
mean, it's
yeah, brother.
romantic if you look at it right.
Yeah, it's very romantic.
Hey, you're a
Um,
piece of garbage, but you're our piece of garbage.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. So
Jeffy, I don't think you know how to talk to women.
I know I'm a great talker to the women folk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Keep going.
That's it. That's all I have to. I'm a man of few words. I don't need to say.
Hey,
that
baby,
much.
you're with me now?
No,
Is
no,
that how you
hey,
talk
no,
to
that's
people, or
Anthony.
what do you do?
Anthony's like, hey, baby, what's
Oh,
up, baby?
my bad. Sorry, I get you two confused all the time. Sorry.
Okay, give me an
He does,
example of
yeah,
how
he
to
really
talk.
does.
Okay,
It's
I need,
so easy.
I
'cause,
need
yeah,
some
you're dead to me
scenario.
both
I need
ways.
some scenarios. Give me some. Hello, Melina. How are you, bud?
Hi. I miss you, Jeffy.
I miss you too, baby girl.
That was
How you doing,
disgusting. I'm
sweetheart?
eating over here. That's so funny.
Look, I got Melina and Bunny on here, and I got Amazing Maisie. I have 3 women. So tell me, what is that? Somebody's got to mute themselves, so it's really bad.
I can't hear.
So tell me, yeah, someone's got their audio. Yeah, that's got to go. I think that's you, Melina.
No one has their mic flared up right now. Like I'm looking at
No,
the
Melina's got her. She's not muting.
Hi.
She is muted in Discord. Is she
I
doing
am.
the talk studio thing? Like I'm confused.
I hear somebody listening to the show.
I can hear you guys.
That's coming from Melina. Watch. Let me mute her, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Because I see a mute symbol on her.
Now she's muted, but now unmute her. Unmute yourself, Melina.
Hello?
See that? It's Melina.
Hello?
You have your TV
Can
on
you
or
guys hear me?
something. Yeah, she's watching or listening on something else. She's got a delay as well.
Melina, I would love to talk to you because I just want to dogpile with you on top
Wow.
of Jaffe.
Wow,
Just
you
make
are
him
so
feel like
bad at this
Wow.
dogpile
a
with her
worthless piece of
on
shit.
me.
Recorded.
God,
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
wanna
trying to
crawl
get
all
at.
are
over
you the guy
Jackie.
who I thought was gay? Or is
Dogpile.
this K-Nubs?
Do you not remember me at all, you son of a bitch? After all the nights we shared together, after
Yeah.
everything we've been through,
Listen, here's the
I
I
was
question.
can't remember if I'm
confused.
K-Nubs or MK-Nubs.
Give me an example of how I approach one of these beautiful women at a bar. What's the vibe? What am I trying to do?
Do you like drinking?
Hell yeah.
At a bar?
That's it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what you do. Easy.
You don't even know what I'm asking you, hillbilly fuck. I'm trying to figure. Yeah, you're like, you don't know how to talk to women, and I'm like, give me a scenario.
I'm
we'll-
married.
and I'll.
I'm good.
I assure
He's
you
talking to
you're not.
women. He's over it.
I talk to a lot of women.
He's over it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I've done enough.
I
of
don't
that.
need to try anymore. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm set, man.
That's the
My
best
I just
way
talk to women
stay.
like dudes at this point.
He's locked in.
That's
and
why
that
I
is
called
the
Buddy a hot
best-
piece of shit just now.
That's the best
Yeah,
way to
he
stay
did call me
married.
hot piece of shit.
I
That
have
was good.
I have no freaking barrier at this point.
It went
'cause I'm
full
not
circle,
weird like
though,
you
and
are,
I'm in
Jeffy.
love
Yeah.
now.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I'll degrade you until you feel like you're worthless, and I'll bring you back up and I'll bring you back down.
Yeah,
You're soil to
Dennis
me. You're
method.
fertilizer.
No, you won't. You drunk. What, man?
Jeffy.
I'm doing a show, man.
This is, I'm her brother.
I really miss Melina though. Sometimes I hear her voice in my head.
You
Ace,
you
what?
miss me?
Did you have to potty?
Really?
What do you think Melina sounds like?
I hear her right
Really?
now.
Melina, you hear her
my
right
voice.
Hey,
Because
will
I don't
you guys,
hear her.
will you guys do me a massive favor and take the show
You
for 3
can't
minutes?
hear me?
That's a long
Did you
time.
watch Jeffy?
Will you take over the
Fuck.
show for 3 minutes? I got to take the dog out.
Can I say the F
Do I have
word
to count the whole
again?
time?
Oh,
You want
shit.
Can we have something like on the stream?
I
that's
gotta go
like a
take the
3
dog
minute
out. Hopefully
countdown?
I'll
you guys
count the
will
whole
stay
time.
here.
Fine.
All right, start now. Go.
1, 2, 3,
What
4,
are you guys talking
5,
about?
6, 7, 8.
Hey, can you take the
I
stream
can't
for
count
another
any higher.
2 minutes and 55 seconds? I gotta go.
What the fuck?
No.
Yeah.
No. No.
So, it's just us.
Yep.
Jeffy.
Ugh. Holy shit.
Jeffy.
So we're all by ourselves
Mhm.
and no one's
All by
looking.
yourselves. Mhm.
So tell me about your life, Bunny. It's been a really long time. I think inquiring
Yes.
minds need to know what's going on with Bunny the Button.
You know, I'm just going to and fro, hither and thither, up and down, back and forth, left and right, over and under.
Cool.
How do you feel about the people that say when they watch you that they want to do you right where you're standing?
That's
I won't,
so a
I
typical
won't
guy
let them.
thing to say.
I won't let them take me, is what I say to that.
That's an excellent answer. What do you think, chat? How do you feel about people objectifying Bunny Button for everything that she's ever been through in her whole life, everything that
Wow.
she's ever done?
Oh my
Like we
God.
just need to like say that about her, and
So
that's the only
bold and
thing that
brave.
she's worth on stream.
That's a typical guy.
How do we
thing
feel
to
about
say.
that? Let's break this down.
How do we feel? I feel fine right now, so I think it's fine.
Hey, I think it's good.
Fine.
I feel good
Yeah.
about it. I
Yeah,
like
you should
degrading
feel
you,
fine about it.
and I like
Okay.
bringing you back up again. And I
Yeah,
like
that's what it
degrading you
totally
again.
does.
Guy.
I like
That's
to
what it
use you for content.
Yeah, I'm the content. I'm the content.
I like Aura or Aura that just says Bunny deserves to paywall your or your trauma. Oh shit! Tech Protect's here.
What's up,
Oh, no.
pussies? Hello.
Oh my goodness! How are you, Tech Protection?
I'm
What's up with
doing
My sweet baby boy. I missed you.
great.
We don't talk enough.
Who the fuck is Black Brother Tonky Balloony Boosie?
That's our.
That's Black Brother.
He's one of our.
Busey.
He's part of like
Our
the
dear
cult.
disciples.
BBTBB?
Our sweet. Our sweet cult. If anyone's interested, we're starting a cult. Should we
You like
disclose
Gary
this?
Busey in ways that you don't want to put into words?
The only cult I'll join is 45 with 2 zigzags. I drank alcohol. We're having a great time.
I can tell.
Woo! I went to the sushi place.
Yeah,
what's that
did you
say?
have sushi?
Tech Protect. Happy birthday.
Oh, is it your birthday, Tech Protect?
I'm
Is it?
29
I don't know
years
what to
old
say.
now.
Holy shit. You are still young.
Let me fix Jaffe's fucking stupid computer layout. Hold on.
He's not young.
I love
he's
like
like
being in a
48.
box, in another box, in another box right now.
Why? It's like so not
It's
on
what
his
I
face.
deserve, to be completely
I
honest.
felt kind of claustrophobic when you got done saying that. That's just a lot of boxes.
When you live in a Riz,
If
I
it
like
was
being
kinda
put in a
tight,
box.
do y'all feel tight?
Everyone puts this baby in the corner.
I feel tight.
Oh.
You feeling tight? I'm feeling tight.
Baby,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, hot damn.
there's not a lot of air in the corner.
I don't hear him anymore, but I saw his lips move.
Yeah.
Technology.
Yeah, Mr. Technology. Hey, Courage. Courage, it's my birthday. Hey, dog. Look at the dog. We got a good dog.
Oh, Tech
lick
is
the mic.
drunk skis, my dudes.
No, I'm not. You,
Me too.
You
Yeah.
are. Where'd go?
Am I? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'll make you.
Do you promise?
You are drunk.
I'll give you a blood transfusion with my alcohol levels, and you can't drive in your state. I guarantee. It was great.
You know what?
We talked to the
I'm
Uber
into it.
driver.
I would love to be
Uh,
inside you in some way.
Me and the Uber driver were just chit chatting.
If
Like,
it
oh, it's
means
my
blood,
birthday and
that's
all
fine.
that. And he's like,
What
"Yeah,
are you
dude,
talking about?
I gave my girlfriend a giant vibrator in front of her family for Christmas." And I was like, "That's great. I'm glad we got to this part of the conversation." He's like, "Yeah, well, to be fair, she got me a G-string, so, and I had to wear it." And I was like, "Oh well."
I
No,
forgot
we
to listen
delicious.
to the first half of that, and then I started listening halfway through, and I don't know
Honestly,
what you're talking about.
you lost me once the dog licked the mic, and we need to
fixed
get
your-
this
I
guy
fixed your setup.
out of here.
Jeffy's a fat Jew and Tech's a fucking dirty, dirty Mexican. He's
Hey,
just,
diabetic.
Hey,
he's
you are so mean. Why are you
He's
like
the
this?
third.
Why are you like this?
How'd you fix my setup?
Who made you this way?
Jeffy called me the N-word. So I'm
He
upset.
called you the N-word? When would Jaffe
Yes.
say that?
Okay.
When did that
He called me the
happen?
N-word. He
Who
did
the
it in
N-word?
DMs. He called me
He
the
did in the
N-word.
DMs. Can you leak the DMs? Because I want to see them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll leak him to.
Because I'm all about it. If he said it, like I want to persecute this guy if he leaked the N-word at you.
Okay.
So, how do you respond to the allegations, Jaffe?
What allegations?
Apparently, you say the N-word to people in DMs.
Never.
According to that guy that
I'll,
was
I'll
just
give
in the
him. I'll
VC.
give him $100,000 if he has proof.
I would like to see them just so I could,
I don't believe it.
just keep them privately until I need to make a big career move.
No, I would
With PlayStation.
absolutely. I would look. Yeah, I would absolutely
Like-
give him a lot of money if he could prove that. I have never said that
Jeffy
word
may
in my
hate
life.
women, but he does not hate black people.
Yeah.
true.
And himself.
Mm.
He loves himself probably the most out
I
of
love
everyone.
you, Jeffy.
Melina,
I'm
I
gonna
love
say.
you right back.
Melina, I would love to hear your voice if you could lend your voice to the VC.
I love
Lockmort, what's up, Lockmort? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man.
you.
Do you feel like Jaffe's just talking to people like in his head?
I have a stream over here.
Yeah, but we can't hear these people.
Nobody gives a shit. Just sit the fuck down.
I mean,
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, Melina can hear us.
I love you, but
Sit
you're a
the
little bit
fuck
of a
down.
bitch. But it's
Sit
fine.
the fuck down, wee little
It's
man.
fine.
Wee little
Am I?
man.
Oh,
Jaffe, I would love to meet you in person and show how wee you are.
Oh,
why?
did you say wait?
As in, yeah, I would like to play Wii with you, Jaffe, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry,
You
that
want
sounded
Theo?
weird. Yeah.
Did.
No, like Wii bowling
Oh, okay.
specifically. Yeah. I'm a big
You want
Wii
me to
bowling
play
fan.
with your wee wee?
Interesting.
You're too drunk to be on this show, Caleb's.
If you say so, Jaffe.
All right.
I miss
all
you.
right. I'm right here, baby. I'm like Jesus. I'm the footprints in the sand. I've always been
I
here.
love you, Jeffy.
Those are
Melina-
the smallest footprints I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, well, I don't need them
You
to
know
be
that?
very big. I don't give a shit.
Oh,
Not believe this guy got my name wrong. It's Black Brother Tony Baloney Busey. To be
Ooh, I
honest
didn't,
with you,
I didn't say your
darn it.
name was
Hell
wrong.
yeah, brother.
I didn't say her
Hey.
name was wrong. Okay, well, this is
Don't ever
silly.
talk about
Jaffe.
Tony Baloney Belusi again.
All right, listen, I will be tuning in tomorrow to your podcast, Bunny. I'm very excited. Good luck to you and Miss Jessica Pizzle. I'm going to get back to the YouTube chat, but thank you, fellas. Bye, you guys.
Embers, bye.
Oh, there's Embers.
He
All right.
used us.
I didn't use you.
Every
It's just
time.
that it's. I.
You
That's not
said
true.
you said entertain the audience for 3 minutes, and
And
you
you-
know what? You gave us nothing. We just
Now
had
that you
like,
guys sell this, I'm gonna leave because I jumped in mistake. Bye.
Bye, buddy.
all right, bye. Hi, Embers. How are you doing, dude?
I'm good. I'm just here to say hi to Locke because I saw Locke in chat and I just wanted to tell Locke that I'm a big fan.
No, Lockmort's in the
Nice.
YouTube chat.
Yeah, I saw him in the YouTube chat
Yeah.
and I wanted to tell him that
Are
I'm a
you
big
not
fan.
connecting that, Jaffe? Is your mind a little bit slow? Or getting older? Did you have a stroke? Are you the one that had the stroke?
I love that you're drunk and your inhibitions go away, and in that you express how cool you think you are. But we can watch it and
I'm a
recognize
little buzzed up.
not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
You're cool, man. All right, bye, you guys. I'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye,
MK
love you.
Ness. Thanks, everybody. Oh, shut up, idiot. God damn it. Bye, you guys. Good Lord. Good old MK Ness. I appreciate him. All right. Jaffe, secret plan all along to get people to come babysit the stream. I had to take the dogs out, baby. That's what I had to do, man. Yeah, back to Bunny's Discord, I suppose. Jaffe pronounced my name. Heat see it. Heat see it. That's what I would say. I don't know. Okay, well, that was a fun stream, you guys. I enjoyed doing that. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out. I'm debating if I want to play Bookshop Simulator online or if I just want to wrap it up and get ready for the bed. What's happening this weekend? Well, listen, let me tell you a couple of things. Tomorrow we are doing Evil Dead Part 2 on the Discord, and it will be a little bit in the afternoon. I'll let you know in the morning what time it will be. Rocker Matt was watching last night, and he suggested we also do what movie was that he threw out there? I don't remember what it was, but it was some motion picture show. But so maybe we'll end up throwing in 2, but we're definitely going to do 1. And Anna G hasn't seen Bookshop Simulator. Oh, I added a second floor, you guys. Toxic Avenger, right? So we haven't made our goal yet, but if we make our goal, we'll throw in the new Toxic Avenger as well tomorrow. What is the wonderful Bloodborne statue behind me? That is done by Miss Lynx. She made it for me. She painted it for me. She sent it to me. It's excellent. She made me a Art the Clown one, and she made me a Supergirl one. But I have the Bloodborne one out there. It's really well done. Very, very cool. I would like to one day do soon a sort of sword and sorcery movie film festival in the Discord, like Conan the Barbarian and Scorpion King and shit like that, you know. MK Ness says, I wish I didn't have to babysit your stream with no setup. Well, that's the fun, man. That's the improv, baby. Come on now. That's the improv, baby. All right, I'll show you a little bit of this great game I've been playing before I wrap it up. Let me show you this thing. This is some stuff. Can I shout out links on my crypt tomorrow? I will, but I don't do crypt in the weekends, though. P Turtle went away, KP. I don't know what happened to the guy. He went away. I think he kind of was like, oh, well, now he's like, they want me there. Well, I don't want to be there now. That's too easy. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I have no fucking clue, but he just, took off. Haven't heard from him since that stream. I don't know. Where's my, hang on. No, that's the wrong thing. I want this. No, Ace, come on, man. No, we're done. Good God, this dog. My dog has gotten so needy as he's gotten older. I don't like it. I didn't sign up for this. I love you with all my heart, buddy, but you drive me crazy. Give me a goddamn break. All right, here we go. 1 second, you guys. No. Go see Sarah, not me. Go. Yeah, no, MK, I would love to. I do want to talk to Maisie for sure. Am I racist? Shut up, idiot. You know I'm not racist, you son of a bitch. Hell are you talking about? So right now, my friends, I have, hang on. Sounds like Party Rocking's about to start. All right, hang on. So right now, I have a bookshop in Japan, and I have one in a city in Paris, and it's ready to open. It goes from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. These are all my rare books that are worth a lot of money. You can set prices. Like this is they're all kind of based on, they're based on real books, but they don't have the rights. So this is, instead of the Zodiac Killer, the Astrology Killer. Instead of Gone Girl, it's AFK Girl. The Return of the Bling King, Game Design for Dimwits, blah, blah, blah. So this, and I added a floor up here, which I was going to make all horror. I also started I sell board games here, and I have manga. I just got the license to start selling Assault on Colossus and Ghost in the Hotel. And then I also have, here's my store in France, which is pretty fancy schmancy. Let me turn on the lights so you can see my brilliance. I love this game. I love bookstores. I love books. I love everything about books and reading. And so, the game stream is choppy because it's, I'm doing it on Talk Studio. I wish I knew why Talk Studio was so shitty. I'll tell you what maybe I'll do. I will load up OBS in about 10 minutes and do a proper stream over there. So if you want to join me, I'll be live in about 10. Oh, look at my kitty. I have a little kitty. And then I have another one. And it'll run well. But isn't this great, you guys? Look at this. Look at it. I love this game. Okay. Then that's going to be the stream for tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you, K-Nubs and Bunny Button, for helping me out, taking the dogs out. Thank you for the great conversations. Thank you, Embers, and thank you, Stick. What was the new guy that called in? He was a joy to talk to. Silver or something? Silver Star? I don't know, but he was great. And it was good stuff, man. I hope you guys had a good time. I'll be back in about 10 minutes on this channel, streaming a smoother stream. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, all.